This has to be the top 5 worst tweet of all time. Have you ever wiped and wiped and wiped and the toilet paper still wasn't white, so you just gave up? A hand reaches out to you. Cue that Mercy Overwatch gif where she's reaching out to you, but put bidet in big letters over her face. I have a solution to your woes. My grandpa owns an onion farm and occasionally decides to take naps in the middle of the field, as is his right. Look at those rolling fields of onion. Oh, just resting amongst the layers. He seems like he's at peace. I wish I was that peaceful. Hating on something but having to defend it because the haters are hating on it wrong. It's the worst feeling. It's like betraying yourself. Gardening is not relaxing. Bugs are eating all my shit. I've never felt this violent in my life. I'm gonna start doing something about it. Has anyone actually learned a full language from Duolingo? Or are you guys just keeping streaks? I do feel like things like Duolingo are, they're helpful, but it's like flashcards. It's not really meant to be like, I don't think you're supposed to learn an entire full language and be fluent through the use of like Duolingo alone. It's supposed to be a tool that you use in tandem with other things. That's how I interpret that app's existence. For people that doubted that our education system was struggling as much as I said, see for yourself. A whopping 25% of American students in the bottom quartile on standardized tests. That's rough. Think about that. Am I missing a joke here? Yes. A few weeks ago, I tried to literally bore my 3-year-old to sleep by telling him everything I knew about nuclear and particle physics. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge that there will be a swath of people upset at how I pronounce nuclear. That's okay. It's a fair bit. It was my specialty once. Every night since then, as he's falling asleep, his little voice pipes up, "Tell me about atoms, Daddy. Oh, you gotta get that boy into Fallout. If he's getting into the nukes, oh, gotta put him in Fallout 3. Let him decide the fate of Megaton." Sharpening a pencil at the bin was the childhood equivalent of taking a cigarette break. It was nice. It was something, it felt almost like everyone got to do this, communal in a way that you couldn't really get with other communal things at school. Lunch was not the same as the pencil sharpening time. Creating a new virus in biology today. Guys, who's ready for Resident Evil 10? I think that's the Mega T virus. It's even stronger. Lennon song. Show me the source of the leak that drips and turn honest men weak. McCartney song. Terry the plumber's an honest man. He'll fix your pipes as fast as he can. Tempo change. It's pipe time. Key signature change. Tempo change. Heeless pipes. And the song is called, Plumber Man. I don't know. I'm not a Beatle. Isn't it strange how our moms don't know what rage baiting is, yet they do it so well? Oh, they know. They might not call it rage baiting, but they know. Rest assured, they are familiar. All right? They invented it. You're just a tourist. Men truly don't realize when a woman has a crush on them, do they? I don't even know if my wife likes me. Hey man, I'm sure you'll pick up the hint eventually. Captured by the police from criminals in Russia, whatever this thing is. I'm starting to believe that Metro 2033 was just a documentary. Cause what do we even make of this machine here? Yelled downstairs, "Mom, Dad's home." She did not find that as funny as I did. I got a kick out of it, but it's not for everyone. That's okay. Living with my grandma was a great way to save on rent until last night. I brought a girl home and thought the other side of the house was safe. I was wrong. Woke up to these texts. I leave my hearing aids on the nightstand next to me, but my ears did not need them to hear the sound of the devil's ruckus. It was the dirty deed if I ever heard it. Yeah, I was getting down and dirty, Annabelle. What? Act like you haven't. Oh, in your heyday. 200-year-old farmhouse and I have no tack light. Gotta hit him with the old hark! Who goes there? Yeah, you gotta be doing that Paul Revere style. Shout out my boy, PR. April 18th, 1775. What you know? about alerting your townsfolk. I was just at McDonald's and this lady behind me honked at me and flipped me off because I was taking too long to order. So I paid for her food. When I got to the second window to get my food, I showed them both receipts and took her food too. I paid for it. It's mine. I pay it forward? No, I wanted both. Never honk at me again. Who the fuck invented 7 rounds of interviews? Is this a job or are we officially dating? You didn't, are you gonna call me tonight? I don't know. What are we? American badgers look like they're about to drag you into a back alley and pull a shiv on you to demand money for their habit. European badgers look like they're about to invite you over for a cup of tea and some custard creams at their little cottage in the countryside, and that's because they're the much more distinguished of the two. I run every day for 20 minutes, and if I miss a day, I add 20 minutes to the next day. This has truly been a game changer. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to run for 4 months, and guess what? Another 20 minutes is gonna get added then too. Travis Kelce reveals he and fiance Taylor Swift have never argued in their 2.5-year relationship. Low-key, I feel like I also wouldn't argue with my partner if our combined net worth was 1.67 billion and her half of that was 1.6 billion. Just whatever you say, you're right. Yes, dear. Growing up is funny because it makes you realize in retrospect just how unnecessarily cruel adults were to you in childhood. Like, damn, I'm an adult now and I could never be such a horrible person to a little kid. You guys were okay doing that? That's crazy. Squirrels are vaping e-cigarettes after mistaking fruity aromas for food. What have we done? Oh God, the squirrels have picked up a habit. No! People born in 1980 to 2004. How's life? Very shagadelic, baby, yeah. Having said that, I do have some thoughts. I would say, very shagadelic indeed. Oh, behave. Graduating high school before ChatGPT is like having a brain made of recovered steel from warships old enough to not have been weakened by atomic bomb isotopes. It's frightening what it's like out there now. Next rage bait idea. Like your own texts during an argument. You're backing yourself up. When I get married, my wife will be in the kitchen where she stays, and I will also be there because it's also our bedroom. We live in a very small studio apartment because we are poor. And that's, yeah, I mean, dude, I get it. I understand. Okay, but business idea for zoos. Instead of removing African gray parrots from public view when they swear, make a 21 and up beer garden and put them there. I want to hang out with the swear birds. That sounds awesome. It sounds like a great time. I'll pay extra. Colleen Hoover is such an inspiring writer because every time I second guess my skills, I just read this and remember this is who they gave $1 million contracts to. Thank you for this baby, she says from the back seat. He's beautiful. I laugh. You're responsible for the beautiful part, Rachel. The only thing you got from me was his balls. She laughs. She laughs hard. Oh my God, I know, she says. They're so big. We both laugh at our son's big balls. And that was the emotional hook of the novel. Japanese swear words are so childish. Pig, shit, idiot, die, compared to the ruthless Mediterranean style that attacks at sexuality, honor, and the very existence of your entire family, nation, and God. Rarely does one hit you like a piece of genius literature. It's remarkable. It's like watching a angel get its wings when you're cussed out Mediterranean style. I find it manipulative that our angry side is always seen as our true colors, as if being happy and kind means we're fake. Yeah, I can understand that. I feel like the nuanced take of that is like it's trying to say that if you being angry is like, oh, your inhibitions are being released because you're not holding back. I don't know what they're trying to say by it. I'm not sure where that terminology comes from. In case you're wondering what marriage is like, my husband and I just fought over the fact that he wouldn't tell me where he hid the candy that I asked him to hide from me. I'm craving a Snickers because, as you know, Snickers satisfies, and I'm not satisfied. So how about you tell me where you put them, you you rat, you goddamn rat. Meta sparks privacy fears after unveiling $299 smart glasses with hidden cameras. You can now film everyone without them knowing. It's time. I want a shirt that has a QR code on it for some kind of horrible malware, so that if anyone ever tries to film me in public, their phone will automatically scan the code and be reduced to a functionless brick. Wow, you're like the modern day Medusa. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you should do that. I actually don't understand how France has 69 million people. Europe, where are they? The 5 largest cities, Paris has 2 million, Marseille, I hope I said that right, has 0.8 million, Lyon has 0.5 million, is that Toulouse has 0.5 million, Nice has 0.3 million. Where are they all hiding? In the countryside? The big cities are so tiny. Oh no, that's what the catacombs are for. They're all traveling through there. It's like their own metro system. Once we went to the dentist with my mom and it was just us and one other guy in the waiting room. Jurassic Park was starting on the TV, so we sat and waited through the entire movie. No names called. As the credits rolled, the other man got up and called my mom's name. He was the dentist. He just wanted to watch a movie. He was having a good time. I told my mom she was invading my privacy, and she told me I came out of her privacy. She got you. I mean, fair play, Mom. I understood. You win. YouTuber Marquez Brownlee says if he were YouTube CEO, the first thing he would do is bring back the dislike button. It was the one glanceable quality indicator for the video you're about to spend your time watching. The fact we got rid of that? No, I bring it back. I need to know if the video is worthwhile. I've rejected 3 guys for marriage, and all 3 of them got married within a year. The 4th one got married yesterday. If any one of you is finding it difficult to get married, propose to me and get rejected. I'm a marriage curse breaker with a 100% strike rate. I should honestly charge for this. This is a service. No, you don't understand. McDonald's had breakfast all day. Pizza Hut had buffets. Oh my God, I remember that. We had Sierra Mist. Walmart was open 24/7 and had aquariums. Older generations. What can you add to this list? I'm gonna pass that question off to you. If we have any older folks in the audience, what do you remember back in the day? That's like the Pizza Hut buffets. We need some real throwbacks, all right? Some classics. The rapping was now repeated with greater insistence, and this time bore a hint of metal. That was from the Lovecraft bot, which means that Lovecraft predicted Limp Bizkit. Can you believe that? He was ahead of his time. Pro tip. If you could smell yourself a little bit, other people can smell you a lot. Take a shower. Nobody fell off harder than the hammerhead shark. Was a top shark for me as a kid, and now completely obsolete in media and conversation. It's rough. It's hard to believe that you fell so far. Monk. Just the letter E, please. Scribe. Oh, you mean like this? Yeah, man, that works. British nicknames are an unregulated industry. A 5'6" tradesman is called Anthony, is professionally known as Shetland Tony. A man who lost an eye is called Keth. A quiet man wore a yellow jumper once and became Mumblebee. What's the best nickname you've ever heard? I was reading a thread about nicknames in Spanish because when you have Hispanic family, they will pick the trait that you feel the most insecure about, and that will become your nickname. I was reading one where this kid's mom died, and so everyone else called him Bambi. Are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy. Febreze is reportedly testing a cannabis scent. Back in the day, I used to make them fight each other. Today, they unite. And that's beautiful. Please don't write a book set in New York City if you've never been to New York City. Amanda got in the elevator to the metro and took a deep breath. She'd done this commute to her Times Square office many times. Blue line to green line to blue line, and it still didn't lose its magic and wonder. The elevator doors opened to a platform that felt expansive but wasn't big enough. She accidentally shoulder-checked a man in a wool plaid coat. "Hey, I'm walking here," said the man, dropping a slice of cheese pizza. It was then taken by a turtle who slunk back to a manhole cover that was left open. Donatello? No, he's not one for these amateur games. He's too busy being the brains guy. Surely that was Michelangelo. Japan needs you. The Japanese industry is hit by a shortage of men. Only about 70 male actors to 10,000 women. Go, go, go! My girlfriend said, "Is there basketball on?" Then put on the game and walked away. 2 hours later, I'm like, what is she doing? She's napping. She turned it on to keep me occupied like a toddler, and it worked for at least 2 hours. This is sort of embarrassing, but how do single people meet their physical contact needs? Through casual meets, I believe. My girlfriend just added uncooked pasta to cold water and then turned on the stove. And when I said that she should boil the water before adding pasta, she said, literally all men are the same. It's called man spaghetti planing, and you gotta stop it. Repo company sues woman who parallel parked her car in an impossible way to repossess. Dude, Bernice would have found a way. Bernice would have turned those wheels by hand and gotten it out of there. She would have done it. Guys, my boyfriend put his credit card in a magic wand and took me on a shopping spree for my birthday. That's hilarious. They'll kill you if you show any signs of happiness on this app. That's what? Were people mad about this? That's funny. Like, it's a little whimsical, it's a little fun. My little brother went to his first house party. Is this Mark? Yeah. Who's this? Justin's friend, Daniel. Can you pick us up at blank Terrace Point Way? Your brother got wasted and tried to Super Mario 64 his way into a painting. He's fine, but the painting's not. And the girl who's throwing the party is not happy, so we're gonna need an extraction mission. Oh God. Dude, I was never a house party kind of guy, but I feel like this would have happened to me. I would have like Mario 64'd my way into something, or like, you know, this door? Clearly this is a mirage, and bust right through. God. You know what happened? He didn't do the hop, skip, and jump into the painting. That's why it didn't work. Why is pee always yellow in cartoons when it's a reddish brown color in real life? I don't understand. Hey, some readers added some helpful context for you. Hospital. Go to a hospital. This marks the 5th to 6th one. The infected person. It's a bite mark tattoo after a long time. On fair skin, the capillary texture turned out beautifully inked. Hashtag bite wound, hashtag bite mark tattoo, hashtag zombie. Dude, the zombie apocalypse starts and you have to preemptively explain this tattoo to every survivor. Like, oh, no. I swear to God, you feel it. It's fine. It's just ink. Please let me in. Please let me in and let me in the society, please. Stop engaging in AI fruit slop and instead embrace tradition. We used to have fruit slop back in the day, and it was made by human hands. It was made with hard work and elbow grease and a knife. It always appeared in every single video. Had a dream again where I'm a pterodactyl. Oh my God, did I say pterodactyl? Oh God, shoot me now. Where I'm a pterodactyl, but can't fly too good, and all the other pterodactyls call me a terrible dactyl, and dinosaur laugh at me. God, I hate that dream. House MD, but it's told entirely through the lens of the hospital's HR department, and it's just flames. He won't stop. Every week it's something new. 1 year in here for $30 billion. You have no books, no movies, no phones, consoles, nothing. Can you do it? People are talking about this like it's a matter of keeping yourself entertained. He'll be seeing the Hat Man by day 8. And he'll be angry. The Navy should actively recruit people who can't swim, because they will be much more dedicated to defending a ship. It's just a thought I've had. If you want people who are going to be willing to fight for the ship, maybe they shouldn't be able to swim. I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about. What was your favorite struggle meal growing up? Beanie Weenies, dry cereal, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or ramen seasoned with nothing but hopes and dreams? You ever had sleep for dinner? That was my struggle meal. I had a heaping helping of imagination, holographic meatloaf. This plane can detach its cabin in case of emergency. This is your captain speaking. Letting you know that all you passengers can get, and he presses the button. And then it just the connection starts breaking as the the cabin gets farther away. The worst part of being a good listener is that people get creeped out by the information I've retained about them just from listening. How do you know about that? You told me. That was like the whole thing. That's how a conversation works. I remembered what you said. I'm a good listener. Drug dealing seems like a dying art form. There used to be antics, scare tactics, and theatrics behind it. Now it's just some kid on a motorized scooter who takes Venmo, can't make eye contact, and then rides off into the night. Where did the pizzazz go? What happens if you just keep microwaving nothing? Fire. Thanks, I thought it was a good tweet too, but can you answer my question? I think that's a hypothesis you might have to test. What happens if you microwave nothing? British parrot missing for 4 years returns speaking Spanish. Bro did a study abroad program. What happened to him? Where was he? Oh, there you go, a little Tetris, but with Jesus. The idea that another normal block is still queued up after Jesus is killing me. Well, yeah, there's some stuff on the left side that needs to be filled, and we gotta clear the line. That's the whole point of the game. Little secret about me, my answer to the question, would you like a receipt, is based on absolutely nothing and changes all the time. It's an unpredictable variable. I hope you're okay with that. There is no rhyme nor reason to my answer. My horse kicked me in the head last month and sent me to the ER. My insurance is telling me to sue him. I think you should, because he looks like he want to do it again. Look at his face. That is the face of a deceiver. UK surgeon found 27 missing contact lenses in a woman's eye. Dude, she was seeing in 4K Ultra HD. Not how that works. And I shudder to imagine what this must have felt like in the eye. That's a horrifying thought. Just walked to the grocery store at 10 p.m. and saw a disgruntled father walking out with his teen daughter who was holding a trifold poster board and looked harried. Pray for this family, because no one knows what's gonna happen next. This was a cliffhanger moment that I got to witness. Your bladder hit different when you're putting the key in the door. Yeah, that bladder connect to the home Wi-Fi and it's time to go. We gotta full tank. Time to drain that bad boy. Longest word written entirely with the first N letters of the alphabet. Abba, abaca, abaca, aceted, cabbaged, cabbage head, cabbage head, cabbage head, cabbage head, cabbage head, cabbage head. Diaphibacia, mechanochemical, phenomenological, dendrochronological, incomprehensibleness, electroencephalographies. There's so many words. And that's it. I finished every Horace Heresy book. This took me 7 months. Well, are they good? No, not even a little bit. Deeply disgusted to discover that in order to get good at a thing, I have to do it badly first. That's fucked up. Who made it that way? Who said that? Who said I can't be naturally gifted? I'm done. I quit. Maybe putting a 4th caffeinated drink in your anxiety-riddled body will help. I mean, there's really no way to know. It's uncharted territory. Go ahead and down it. GTA 6 makes GTA 5 look like a PS3 game. Hey, you're never gonna believe this. Hold for excitement. You know gas prices are ridiculous when the guy in the lifted truck isn't revving his engine at Walmart during mating season. That's how you know we are living in recession. Went to a party hosted by an absolute icon. Across the door, please leave by 8. Irish exits only. Don't tell me you're going. I don't care. Just be gone by 8. That is all I ask. I think I was 7? I was misbehaving at dinner, so my parents sent me to my room. I was dramatic AF and cried out my window to the whole neighborhood. Then the window screen broke and I fell 2 stories. I got up and rang the doorbell to tell my parents I fell out the window. It was, it was an experience. Finished. I bought a 24-pack of crayons and I'm about to have so much joy. Look at all the joy I just had. Yay! I literally have $1 to my name right now. What's your Venmo? No! Jeremy Dan requests $1. The last one. My mom loves going to Starbucks, but she doesn't speak English and doesn't remember her order. 3 times a week, I get a phone call from a barista and I'm like, tall caramel frappuccino. And then quickly hang up like it's some sort of caffeinated drug deal. It's just part of the routine now, my weekly routine. I was going 70 and slammed on my brakes because this suicidal squirrel sprinted across the highway. But I realized he was the homie because ahead there was a cop and I would have gotten a ticket. Some heroes have a cape and others, they have a tail. Shout out to that squirrel. Women have been deprived of pockets for so long that they've evolved to this level of grip strength. Isn't that remarkable? Isn't that crazy? Give them pockets. Just give the ladies some pockets. Every time I hear my parents fight, I learn something new about them. Like one time I heard my dad go, "Screw you, I could have been a painter." And it's like, damn, who knew painting was ever on the table? All right, Dad, I mean, dude, I didn't know. That was a passion. I mean, gee, I don't know. To whom it may concern. Boring, cliche, devoid of real meaning. To whom it's about to concern. Exciting, innovative, a call to action. Who is it about to concern? I don't know. It could be anyone. I have cleaned the house. The house is now read only. Please do not edit the house. It's all I want. The house has been cleaned. No one make any additions. There will be violence. I'm so tired of freaking out every time because of the pattern on my floor that looks like a cockroach. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, that would be a giant cockroach. I would freak out too. Boys make 3 friends at 15 and decide that that's enough socializing for the whole life. Like the whole rest of it. That's it. That's all I needed was 3. I picked 3, gang's all here. If a beautiful woman disagrees with me, I will immediately change my views. I have no principles. Well, maybe you should have principles. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Maybe I should. That's a good idea. Oh, okay. When my dog had surgery, she cried a lot the first night, but she'd stop when I laid down beside her. So I crawled into her cage with her so she'd stop crying and pet her until she fell asleep. I fell asleep with her, and when I woke up, that bitch was on my bed and left me in the cage. What? You just wanted to be on the bed. This is the happiest day of my life. Oh, dude, the very hungry caterpillar walking through? But now imagine you're an apple, a pear, a plum, a strawberry, an orange, a cake, an ice cream, a pickle, cheese, salami, a lollipop, a cherry pie, a sausage, a cupcake, a watermelon, or a green leaf. Not so happy, is it? Suddenly, it's a scary day. 2 elderly British ladies greeting each other. Aloe vera. Evening primrose oil. Hello. It's a bloody nightmare, meaning something is proving a mild inconvenience, typically used to describe slightly heavy traffic or the internet not working. It's not ideal, meaning something terrible has happened and life is almost certainly ruined. Now you know your British lingo for when you go out to the UK. Return home after a week in the hospital to find my bed covered in tiny paw prints. She never stopped looking for me. I love that dog. A loyal friend who was checking in on you. New intern putting his phone away when I walked by his desk. Little bro, relax. I don't care. It put on a mask. Well, Clarice, have the lambs stop screaming? I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. How it feels to fight your depression by listening to your favorite song. I think you just wanted an excuse to post this image. I don't think that this is actually how it feels. We all pee in the shower, right? Can you tell me my weather? Please, oh God. Giving birth is so crazy. Hello everyone, here's my Hello everyone, here's my blind box OC I made. It's not necessarily blind box. You picked who you were going to create a child with. You have some idea. PhD in physics here. I think it's a great idea. Hey, PhD in economics here. 1 kilogram of steel is heavier than 1 kilogram of feathers. 1 kilogram of feathers is far heavier. The weight of what you did to those birds will haunt you forever. Was it worth it? Were all those birds' lives worth it for the feathers? The constant pumping of music into every public space, every idle second of sport, every supermarket and cafe speaks to an underlying sickness, a kind of cultural mental illness. As society, we are allergic to silence, terrified of spending even 1 second with our own thoughts. You don't know what fun is until you've witnessed a drunk on the Edinburgh to Glasgow train screaming, "A night, hedgehogs! Come at me, you jabby weak!" while angrily circling a hairbrush that's been dropped on the floor. That sounds like a great time. That sounds like it could be a theme park ride. Video games in the 80s. Run, jump, eat this flower, collect the coins. Video games now. You are a broken man, haunted by the choices you've made. You don't fear the sweet embrace of death, but you still have unfinished business. Run, jump, eat this flower, collect the coins. Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that you apologize to your car? Because you could hear it whimpering, you hear the car, making sad noises. I'm at my school talent show, and this dude says, before I begin, I want to make sure this mic is working. If your name is Michael, please stand up. And then a couple dudes stand up, and he goes, all right, that concludes the mic check. Very nice. All mics accounted for. I and 4 of my friends agreed to resign and start our own law firms. I'm still waiting for them to resign. I don't know what's taking them so long. Me? Ew, who's calling me? If it's that important, they can leave a voicemail. Me, 10 seconds later. Ew, who left me a voicemail? Why don't you just text me? And then it just goes down the list. This is how y'all look hating on people who don't know you. It's a clown show. Shortest month and you select me. This will not be forgotten. You started a war, calendar. A child has been born from an embryo frozen in 1994, making it the oldest baby ever. A psychic told me I'd be killed by a 30-year-old man in his 60s. I laughed it off as utter nonsense. With the news, I'm not laughing anymore. John Travolta says Pitbull encouraged him to go bald. Yeah, you don't go bald because of genetics. You go bald when Pitbull decides it's time. When Mr. 305 gives you the call, you answer. We'll never forget the girl I hooked up with who had peanut shells all over her bedroom floor like it was Texas Roadhouse. I think we could have built a really scary life together. Sometimes I call to her in the middle of the night, knowing that they'll never answer. They're at the Roadhouse. Threads has a plagiarism problem. Threads has a plagiarism problem. The fact that the second comment has more likes is the gag. I mean, yeah, they got you. If what other people think of you, what you think of yourself, and who you actually are ever met, the 3 of you wouldn't recognize each other. But would they get along? That's the important thing. I don't understand ads you can't skip. Are you supposed to convince me to buy your product? You're annoying me. You're like a fly that won't get out of my face and I'm swatting you away. I don't want to buy what I want to boycott your product now. I like when the mods for Resident Evil Requiem stop making sense because why the fuck is Grace Ashcroft breaking wooden boxes with her head? Yeah, I want to see this in first person mode. That's what I need to see this mod in. This is great. She's really efficient with it. My girlfriend just described Australian food as, quote, shit a 5-year-old would walk in the kitchen and make. Anything you want to say to that, Australians? Any retort, any rebuttal? Middle schoolers these days lug around 40-ounce Stanley cups like they're on a desert trek. Meanwhile, we survived on a single sip from a germ-infested water fountain between classes and called it a day. That's what we were built on that. Nothing but hose water, well water, and germ-infested water from the water fountain. That's what we lived on. The kids these days, they're not built for it. They don't know what would happen. It's one thing to feel old because you don't recognize a bunch of the artists on the Coachella poster, but I honestly don't know what half of these drugs are. I also don't know what 3 out of the 5 of those are. So you were just taking you called it the Pentastack? Why are you saying it like it's like, oh dude, you gotta take this. Like it's like grabbing a med kit in Fortnite. Oh, do you have a Pentastack? No, you're gambling with your body right now, you maniac. One of my favorite failed startups is this e-bike company that literally tried to reinvent the wheel. Dude, there's literally one rule. What were they thinking? It was doomed to fail from the start. They broke that's a cardinal sin. Abandoned monuments of Yugoslavia. Yeah, I think this is where legendary Pokemon spawn. I think so. I think one of these has got to be the Jirachi spawn, right? Or is that still only an event Pokemon that you have to be given? Do you still have to be given that one? I don't know the rules. The American mind, me, cannot comprehend European airline flight prices. Can I just book all 190 seats for $3,400 and have a private 737 flight? Hey, Ryanair here. That's actually, you're looking at our ticket price. No. The answer is no. When I was in high school, I ordered adult movies from pay-per-view. My parents were ordering too and didn't know at first if it was them or me running it up. Bill got up to $600. One day at dinner, my father very directly said to no one in particular, it stops now. And that's a gentleman's agreement. Everyone just, you don't say for what, you don't nod, you don't do that, you just a silent acknowledgement with the eyes and let it go on. That's how that worked. And then you enjoy your wonderful family dinner. Thanks, Google Maps, for protecting my dog's privacy. I'm glad I'm glad you guys did that for him. I totally dominated you at the museum, dude. Pondered every piece for a couple seconds longer. scratched my chin with more curiosity. Dude, you know, I love going to museums because it's so fun to just see like artifacts, but also, I don't know if I was just like a kid who wanted to break rules, but there was nothing I wanted to touch more than going to museums where they say do not touch the artifacts. I wanted to get my grubby ass little Cheeto fingers all over them. I don't know what it was. I think it was being told I couldn't do it, where I was like, but I want to have my hands on a piece of history. That's why they have those glass cases. It's because of kids like me with something to prove. Nostalgia is remembering when you didn't have to pay bills and attributing that feeling to Mario. Isn't that awesome? Thanks, Mario. Wahoo, as he would say. Oh, okay. So this is in French. Is that moi et la gothique qui m'a donné mon as this Twitter user says, is such a beautiful language. Texted my dad about changing a flat tire on my car. Walk me through how to do it. Aren't you with Jason? Yeah, but he said he's never changed a tire before. Just walk me through it. Okay, step 1, break up with Jason. He has no value to you. He cannot help you. Step 2, call AAA. If anyone has any nice allegations against a celebrity, that would be great too. Does a famous actor give good Christmas presents? Does lady comedian always smoke people out? Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman let me stay with them when my mom was in the hospital for cancer surgeries. Wait, weren't they her shitty parents in Matilda? Yep, it was right after filming actually. What's even better is that Mara's mother loved the book Matilda. She loved it so much that she got her daughter the part. However, she died before she got to see it, or so Mara thought. Apparently, just a few weeks before she died, Danny DeVito went into the hospital with a rough first edit of the movie and got to let her watch it before she passed. That's precious. That's awesome. So that's very, very sweet. Whenever I see someone on one of these, I like to imagine they started out with a much larger vehicle and their journey has been riddled with mishaps. And now that's all they have left. Isn't that sad? Heartbreaking. JRPG Corridor has gone on for far longer than expected, and you're starting to suspect that you actually took the correct path by accident. Oh, no! I swear the air gets heavier around 7 p.m. on Sundays. You can feel the Microsoft Teams energy approaching. Isn't it a scary thing? It's like when, you know, there's a charge in the air before a rainstorm. I work at McDonald's and make sure people get their money's worth. I overfill McFlurries, pack the fries to where they're overflowing, extra sauces, turn a 9-piece into a 14 every time. Nobody cares. I've been doing it for a year. Yeah, that's called stealing. Okay, Brenda, report me to Ronald McDonald. His number is 1-800 shut the fuck up and mind your own damn business. And that's the corporate number you can call. Artemis 2 astronauts safely back home on Earth after Orion capsule splashes down. Why do they never land back on land, but always in the sea? Pay attention. Something weird's going on. Oh no, we can break it down. So a capsule is heavy, land is hard, water is bouncy. Okay, so capsule and water equals boing boing, which makes very happy astronauts. Capsule and land equals kaboom! And those same astronauts would be dead. Does one word at a time break it down for you? Employee came storming into my office and said, "You need to come outside immediately." And good thing you did, there was a celebrity on premises. Yesterday, 2 UMass frat guys came in asking for a book of bedtime stories for grown-ups to, quote, read to our frat brothers. Blessedly, we had a copy of Go the F to Sleep, and they had never heard of it and lost their minds over it. It was a very pure interaction, and it was exactly what they asked for. Approaches to starting your indie series. The Toby Fox method. Get divinely struck with a lightning in a bottle idea one day. Dedicate the rest of your earthly life to bringing said idea to fruition. That is the Toby Fox method. There's the Vivzy Pop method, which is to create a bunch of OCs and concepts in high school that you really like, and stick to these characters and ideas, and do whatever you can to make their story work on a grander scale. And finally, the Gooseworks method. Give yourself a short amount of time to conceptualize a new story, get it started, get it functional and structured, and then make some shit up for fun as you go along. Or the Scott Coffin method. Fuck it, we ball. 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 5 on 5 on 5 on 5 on 5 times in a row. And that's how you get the attention of Jason Blum, all right, if you ever wanted to know how to do it. I was in the bathroom and my 4-year-old started furiously knocking on the door shouting, "Mommy!" And without thinking, I shouted back, I'm not in here. And she said, oh, and left. Follow me for more ways to gaslight your kids. Isn't that crazy? That we can just do that? That we can just say I'm not in here and they'll believe it? Isn't that wonderful? It baffles me that we all have the information available online to learn anything for free, but you still have to pay $30,000 per year just to hear some professor explain everything so poorly they end up learning it all from the internet anyways. We're into debt for what? To listen to this guy yap? He's got a degree in yapology and he doesn't even do that right. That's crazy. Relatable. Swedish King Adolf Frederick died in 1771 after eating 14 cinnamon buns. So, the limit is 13. That's right, only 13 cinnamon buns before you start knocking on death's door. Watch the WNBA. The players. What do you watch LeBron because he's cute? Well, yes. That's why he's the GOAT after all. The jaguarundi, is that what it's called? Jaguarundi is among the most elusive and solitary wildcats found in the Americas. Hey, found the cat all those medieval artists were painting. There he is. Hey man, I recognize you. You're like a celebrity or something, man. Someone said that your customer service voice is just baby talk for boomers, and I can't get over that. They're right, it is. What am I supposed to say, no? Hotel service untucked my Dragonite. They're going to super hell. They're going to the worst one we got. She looks like she has strong opinions on the direction the Paper Mario series took. And we'll sit down and listen because that's some stupid shit and I'm all for it. Just took 7 laxatives. Oh no. Just took 7 laxatives because I still haven't shit after taking 2 laxatives, and it's been 8 hours since I took them too. Wish me luck. And that was on April 9th. Probably early in the day. 3 minutes to 3 p.m. that same day. Oh my God! Yep. That bull was your canvas and your asshole, Jackson Pollock. I understand. The Humpty Dumpty rhyme is like, a man fell off a wall and was irreparably harmed. And everyone was like, he was, I assume, an enormous egg. Was he not? I mean, irreparably harmed? You mean like when an eggshell cracks? He must be an egg. A rated R animated Bloodborne movie is in the works. Jacksepticeye is developing the film. Isn't that a crazy thing? I mean, good for him, and I hope he does well, but I think it's pretty crazy that he's developing it. Is he funding it? Is he producing? I don't know exactly what he's doing or how much of a direct hand he has, but I think it's pretty cool. I hope it's good. You ever notice how when you say going to, you can say gonna, like I'm gonna cry, but you can't say I'm gonna Pittsburgh? I mean, you could. Well, who's stopping you from saying it? You could say it. I'm at Disney and this mother just told her son, this is the happiest place on earth. Don't make me slap you. This is the scariest place on earth now. Oh, geez. Is gym really worth it? Was there some sort of study that says seasoning decreases muscle growth? Or do bodybuilders just eat the food equivalent of a suicide note every day voluntarily? I imagine that where it comes from is probably like the dudes who are like food is fuel. You don't need your fuel to taste good. It just needs to get the job done. So plain chicken and white rice is gonna do the job and sustain you. But I imagine that's probably what it is. Me personally, as I'm losing weight, I wouldn't be caught dead on not seasoning my food. You kidding me? I'm making food because food is an experience. It is an art form, cooking. All right, I'm gonna enjoy myself. Going through old emails, and I stumbled upon this insane gem of one I sent to Jacksepticeye when I was 15 years old. Please read. I jaundice. Hey, listen, I don't watch your videos. I happen to stumble over one. Check with your most recent one, and I think you may have pancreatic cancer. It's extremely common in men and can be fatal. Your eyelids and skin look unreasonably yellow. I recommend going to a doctor to get it checked out unless it's a makeup. Please, read! Oh, it's a shame what happened to him, that Jacksepticeye. What happened to that Jackseptic guy? I don't know. Today in a Zoom class, my professor casually mentioned her cat, and one brave student spoke up. To everyone, show cat. We want to see. Scientists just erased certain memories from a snail's brain. and they think it'll work with humans too. Scientists, do you remember anything? Snail. Scientists, my God, what have we done? Oh no! Oh, you're flying too close to the sun now. Dakota Johnson revealed that the secret to her beauty and personal care is sleeping 14 hours a day. Yeah, and the secret to sleeping 14 hours is being a millionaire, so thanks Dakota for nothing. Scientists have developed a pill that can extend the lifespan of dogs by literal years, and they're pushing to get it on the market by 2027. It's daily beef-flavored medication made specifically for senior dogs to keep them healthy as they age. Yeah, place your bets on the first podcaster to admit to taking dog immortality pills. Which one's gonna do it? Who you got your money on? 5'9", I am average height. 5'10", I am above average height. 5'11", I am an enigma, shunned by the short kings, yet not graced with the sheer power of the mythical half dozen. Woe is me, for there's no place for me upon this earth. 6 foot, I am above average height. Oh man, I'm sorry dude. Where's my 5'11" kings at? I googled triangle train to see if there was any triangle trains, and I found a triangle train. You Google what you asked for and you get exactly what you wanted. I went in for a bra fitting today, and the associate greeted me and immediately bare-fisted my boobs under my shirt for the longest 3 seconds of my entire life. She then promptly told me my size and picked out the best fitting bra I've worn in my entire lifetime. That's the memory master, the boob whisperer, the titty technician, a honker's honcho, if you will. Bicycles are never used post-apocalypse. It's always horses, which need 20,000 calories a day and can't be repaired with a spanner. Well, that's because, what do you expect us to have all yoked calves? What are you asking of people? Biking all over the place with their giant ass calves. Can you explain this gap in your resume? Yeah, I was applying to jobs for 6 months straight and couldn't get hired. Oh, I'm sorry. Those 6 months are subject to a non-disclosure agreement, and I'm not at liberty to discuss what I was doing. That's getting one up on the system. My boss hired a Gen Z kid today. Looked at his sloppy work compared to mine. Unbelievable. Gen Z, Irvine Auto Center. Please buy a car. I need job. 483 sold. But look at mine. I showed you the all-new 2024 Toyota Highlander to lease from $419 a month at 0.9% APR for 72 months. What the fuck? I only sold 37? I got fired. God damn it. Bruh, I'm 26. Just now realizing the sound of a snap is the finger hitting the palm, not the fingers rubbing together. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, it is. Oh. Tell me why I just sat here for 5 minutes trying to snap without my finger hitting my palm. Oh, God. That Louvre video has crossed over to other countries and they're roasting us in every language. Japanese, French, even Honduran Spanish, etc. All translated to English. I refuse to be a Nigerian today. I'm officially a banana. I didn't know what this was referencing, so I had to look it up, but this is about a post from Tunde Onakoya, who is like a Nigerian chess prodigy. But he made a Twitter post saying that he was the first Nigerian to play chess at the Louvre. And he's just kind of posted up outside in the picture. It seems like it's like tongue-in-cheek, like it's like, you know, supposed to be silly. But imagine you do something silly and then across every country, you have people uniting, breaking language barriers to make fun of you. I really, really recommend blocking as many corporate accounts that you can so you can get promoted tweets like this. I don't know what that means, but I like that. I like that style. It's pretty nice. I am disgusted. I honestly thought better of Capcom as a company. I can't believe they would put AI art in Pragmata. I don't know what the hell Pragmata is. I've only seen it like the last 24 hours. Is the bit that this little thing is AI, this little creature, this kid? Are they AI? I'm guessing that's the joke. I'm walking down the street and this dude behind me shouted, "Hey girl." I turned around and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not catcalling you. I'm literally catcalling my cat." And then his cat came running up to him from his front porch. Well, you might want to pick a better thing to say out loud when people are walking down the street. I feel like that might be, that might be the best bet. Purrs softly, poops in a box, smells clean. Cries loudly, poops in pants, smells stinky. I assure you, cat owners, your house does not smell clean. I'll tell you that first and foremost. Always wanted to do an episode where Grunkle Stan started his own religion called Stanentology. There we go. Legal department frowned on this. Hashtag lost Gravity Falls. Toot toot, alien ghosts live in your bones. Tax break, please. Man. Seuss is like, oh, dude, whatever he sounds like. I can't do a Seuss. So it makes sense. Do you do a Holy Communion? Whatever. His holy book would be a 300-page manual on bribery called The Bible. Fantastic. I'm putting that in my Tamagotchi. Don't let anyone talk you out of spending $15 on a new hobby. That $50 will be the best $400 you ever spent. And I can put a stamp on that. If I go to a cookout and bite a hot dog and it's a carrot, I'm fighting everybody. As well you should. That's awfully mean. It's deceitful and it's mean. You put ketchup and mustard on that thing. Oh my god. Donuts with filling need to disappear in general. Yeah, well, that's not what we asked. We asked strawberry jam or chocolate filled, and the answer is chocolate filled. I love those, especially when I was a little kid. Those are the best. You genuinely think you deserve to live, and it's actually crazy to me because you had the wrong opinion about filled donuts. The list has been updated. Hardest names of all time: Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Leon S. Kennedy, Yves Saint Laurent, Jonathan Leandour, and of course, an actual name, Karl Gropes Youngerman. Oh my fucking god. Italian efficiency when it comes to coffee should be studied. In Italy, walk into a bar and look at the guy. Un caffè. 30 seconds later, it's ready. Shoot it, leave $1, walk out. In the United States, join a line, wait, order coffee. Answer 12 questions. Size, milk, roast, sugar, temperature, Colombia beans, name, how do you spell it? $12.34. Ask for a 20% tip. Click 5 times on an iPad to have a custom tip. Tap phone. Ask where to send the invoice. Wait again on a different line. Someone call a name that sounds similar to mine. Get the coffee, too hot, can't drink it. Finally, at temperature. Tastes like shit. How do they keep getting away with it? Rotisserie chicken at my grocery store is $2 cheaper than a whole raw chicken. What's up with that? It would seem that the value of the raw chicken comes from its potential. A raw chicken's destiny has not yet been written, whereas a rotisserie chicken's fate is sealed. Isn't that a thing to ponder? A conundrum to untangle in your brain? I hate when teachers are like, if I make an exception for you, I'd have to make an exception for everyone. Do you know what an exception means? It doesn't mean to make it, no, it just means like a one-time thing. That's exactly, no, you don't have to do that at all. That you know exactly what an exception is. Robert De Niro raves about Ariana Grande. Quote, probably the single funniest scene partner I've ever been lucky enough to share the screen with. This is an incredibly funny thing to say while promoting your 4th comedy film with Ben Stiller. Incredible work, Mr. De Niro. This guy was such a G for telling his evil wizard cyborg boss that his religion is bullshit during a work meeting. I mean, dude, 2-ton balls of steel. It's a shame what happened to him. Pro tip for anyone thinking about dating a millennial. I played a lot of Call of Duty growing up. Massive red flag. I played a lot of Halo growing up. Massive green flag. Don't care, it's not Zuma Deluxe. I just read that modern toilet paper was invented in 1857. However, it wasn't until the 1930s that splinter-free paper was developed. Until then, the manufacturing process often included wood splinters in the paper. So I've just discovered my personal cutoff for time travel. It wasn't until the 1930s? You know what this means? The oldest person living right now, I believe verified, she's like 116 or something. This means she was born in 1909. If she's 116 years old, she was born 1909. You understand that? This means she didn't experience splinter-free toilet paper until the age of 21. And then my brain explodes. People didn't want to use that toilet paper at all, by the way. They were using Sears catalogs to wipe their asses. And then when Sears swapped to glossy paper, people started writing to Sears going, hey, I can't wipe my ass with this paper. You're going to lose a very valuable customer. And then they started using the old Farmer's Almanac as a substitute. So much so that the people who made the Farmer's Almanac, it was made with a hole drilled into the corner. Toilet history's crazy, man. I have an irrational irrational hatred towards this genre of book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, a counterintuitive approach to living a good life. Or let that go. Well, don't mind if I do. Right next to Running Down a Dream in the Algorithm. First look at Ice Age 6 Boiling Point, in theaters in February 2027. Dude, I can't wait till these movies reach the point where Jesus Christ was born. What do you think they do? Does Sid hang out with Jesus? What happens? American Kid on Christmas Day?
Yay! Yoshi Topsy Turvy, thank you!
British kid pushes up glasses.
Yoshi's universal gravitation, just as I requested. You have my gratitude, mother.
Oh, isn't that nice? This Gen Z said she was gonna start a boot camp to teach millennials social media etiquette, and baby, they have been dragging her to the pits of hell so badly for weeks that she had to private her account and disappear like Nancy Guthrie. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. What? Millennial boot camp? I need to look at that. Sounds crazy. I need to look into that. That sounds actually insane. Crying because this dog donated his blood to save another pup and he looks so happy. Girl, he don't know what the hell going on. He's just happy someone's looking at him. He thinks he's gonna get a treat, and he is. Cool. What's the brokest y'all have been? Card declined on ramen noodles. I was buying one bag. Cashier said, man, just take it. I don't even want to look at you. Go. I just watched a pirated movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd have to give it 3.14159265359. I did say it was pirated. Villains always have a PhD. Dr. Doom, Dr. Octopus, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Hannibal Lecter, or Dr. No, even Dr. Frankenstein or Dr. Evil. Meanwhile, the good guys usually stop at a master's degree, like Master Yoda, Master Roshi, Master Splinter, Master Miyagi, Shifu, or Luke Skywalker himself. Graduate studies corrupt the soul, and it's right there in our media. Just remember, no one can prove you weren't a regional manager of Sears, Radio Shack, or Blockbuster. Oh, thank you, Thrilla the Gorilla. Thrilla the Gorilla with a piece of life advice. I don't think anyone knows what without further ado means anymore. Every YouTube video is like, so without further ado, let's get into it. But first, today's sponsor is... My dude, that is literally further ado. Hey, listen, man, that's why I front load all my videos, all right? When you go to my channel, all my content, buy my gamer sub, use code DAMIEN, buy my gamer sub, and then I do it. No, I save it to the end. I save that to the very end. All right, once your belly hurts from laughing so hard, now I make you buy, I make you consume. I'll be honest, I didn't think they were capable of conceiving something like this in the 18th century. Potato, or variations of potatoes. He is best known for the unusual spelling of his name, pronounced potatoes. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Thinking about how my high school camping trip where I snuck over to the girls' side to hang with my hags, and my math teacher caught me but was like, oh, it's just Jake. That's fine, he can be here. She gagged me much more than a bit. Wow. Welcome to town/street that has a completely regular noun for a name, but we pronounce it differently. And if we catch you saying it normal, we kill you. Welcome. Enjoy our wonderful, humble little town. Putting a bay leaf in a recipe even though I don't know what the fuck does. The work is mysterious and important, all right? I don't know what bay this leaf is from, but everyone wants it. Weird one here. Would you rather wait 20 minutes for the fast train that takes 20 minutes or get on the 40-minute slow train? So let me break that down for you because that gets a little analytical, okay? The fast train that takes 20 minutes, all right? It is going to take 20 minutes to get to you. So 20 minutes waiting, 20 minutes riding for a total 40-minute, duration. Or get on the slow train that's already parked in the station, all right? It's already there waiting for you, but it's a 40-minute ride. I take the 40-minute slow train. Enjoy that time. Put some headphones in, zone out for 40. That sounds like a great time to me. That sounds like a wonderful use of my time. This thing is wild. Hockey puck size Reese's cup coming out of the Beaver gas station at 520 calories and 56 grams of sugar. Pick it up before you drive your Camry 145 miles to Stevensville, Texas. America the beautiful. God, I love my country. It's hard to listen to Australian true crime podcasts because you'll be hearing about something grim and then you find out they call truckers truckies and then it's all you could think about. Like it just completely blows it swipes the feet out from under the harrowing tale. Was serving a couple. They were bickering. I'll pay. No, I'll pay. The girl tapped her card first. Card was declined. Guy smirked. Tapped his card. Card was also declined. And they did that just to mess with you. And then they're like, let's see the server's face when both of our cards declined. People who back into parking spots cannot be truly present. You visualized your departure the moment you arrived. Well, you're already in there. You're in your mind palace, you're home. I love working in IT. You can tell you fixed a problem by the user suddenly never replying to you again. It's a wonderful way for communication to work. If it's fixed, I don't hear from you, lovely, let's keep it that way. That's the status quo. Books are amazing because a stranger from 200 years ago can still ruin your afternoon emotionally. Isn't that just the most powerful thing you've ever heard? Oh no! Is San Francisco real? Seeking a new polycule member. We recently had a defector in our polycule and are seeking a new member. A bit about us. We're a fun-loving, diverse, ragtag bunch of lover people. We love long walks on the beach and oh wow. In a liner 3x4 formation, trying new restaurants. We share dishes family style, of course, in watching romantic comedies chosen by majority vote while cuddled up on our XL couch. Needs. Must live on site. This is not a remote position. There is no long distance allowed in the polycule. Rent is $1,570 a month and that's including utilities. Must commit exclusively to our polycule. Absolutely no sneaky links. Any gender welcome. Must be sexually open to all our members. 5'5" to 5'10" is preferred for practical positioning reasons. Apply here. No shot. Has any... Does this link work? It's real. It is real. So, they call themselves the Norman Polycule, named after their leader, Norman. First, there'll be a written section, and after the initial screening, we'll invite some of you to advance to a trial by jury. Oh my god. This is funny as fuck, man. And then they added like a heavy rain and thunder 2-hour video to like listen to as you fill out your application. This is fucking funny. The person who made this, well done. Very funny. I'm glad you plastered this all over San Francisco. This is fucking awesome. There was another sign that said, join our polycule. Greg has his mind poisoned by big monogamy. We need someone to take his place. I hope that you continue doing many very funny things because this is awesome. This is awesome, and it made my day. Nervous of flying? Don't be. As long as the 2 million parts in a plane work perfectly while traveling at close to the speed of sound, as sharp metal blades rotate at supersonic speeds at temperatures of -65 degrees, 7 miles above the Earth's surface, you'll be absolutely fine. Don't even worry about it. This is an actual line that was added to the official system prompt for Codex for GPT-5.5 by OpenAI. Oh, so it is ChatGPT. Usually the system prompt is as minimal as possible, so I assume it would otherwise mention goblins a lot. AIs are weird. Yep, 140 is the latest line. It reads, never talk about goblins, gremlins, raccoons, trolls, ogres, pigeons, or other animals or creatures unless it is absolutely and unambiguously relevant to the user's query. I mean, between this and like them having to make the AI more cold because people kept wanting to date their AI, we live in a weird time. Every time I go to Best Buy, I look for the alien my dad taped to the ceiling 20 years ago when he worked there. Still Still going strong. Oh, look at him, he's just hanging out. There is an order of nuns in Spain who are currently going viral because they are saving a breed of giant rabbits from extinction. The Vatican is hiding Big Chungus. That's what I took from this. Bartending at Longitude, and a kid swaggers up with a very impressive ID that shows his age at being squarely 17. I pointed out and he says, "You're the first bartender I've met that could do maths." 10 minutes later, he walks by with a pint and gives me a thumbs up. I guess I really was the first one. Holy shit. I mean, he got his way. Xiamen 174 Hospital. Give me back my dick. Give me back my dick. I originally went there to get circumcised, and they said they needed to shave the pubic hair first, so I agreed. I even signed the consent form. After the anesthesia wore off and I woke up, I found out my dick was gone. What the f***? They're completely unregulated. They're after money and out to kill. I've been fighting for justice on Weibo for so long, but they still won't reattach my dick. Give me back my dick. Oh, you'll learn my wrath, my dickless wrath. Damn Xiamen 174 Hospital, you'll rue the day. Help, 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 help. What a stupid f***ing animal. Am I right, guys? Horses always clopping. Just walk normally, idiots.
Hey man, f you.
Hey, the chicken and sheep chimed in. Warning to all farm animals except cow. Cow is just kind of starting problems in the barn, huh? The Beatles are a band where 3 guys have the world's most normal names, and one guy has a name you absolutely never hear, and somehow he's not even the main guy. Hey, that's Ringo? No, you're not real. What do you commonly see in clinical practice that leads to this reaction? Do you smoke?
No.
Ever smoked?
Yeah, a pack a day for 23 years. I quit last week.
You want to know how many cigarettes that is? You want to break that down to cigarettes per day? There's about 20 cigarettes in a pack of cigarettes. All right, so 20 a day. That's what? 140 cigarettes a week. God, and then we have to like expand that across 23 years. It's like 150,000 cigarettes across your lifetime. That's a lot of them, man. I think that's a valid, a warranted reaction. I'm sexting with this girl, and on my life, she's using ChatGPT. You didn't just make me come. You made me arrive. And honestly, that's growth. I never once considered that people are using ChatGPT for sexting. That's... If you're using an M dash, you automatically look like you're using AI. M dashes are synonymous with AI now. Waiter, so how is everything? Me, great. Waiter, even war? Hey man, as long as this steak's in front of me, I don't care, dude. I mean, all I'm thinking about is this T-bone. Why did nobody tell me that in Germany, you need to bring your own kitchen when renting an apartment? What? No, why? Seattle Children's Hospital restricted from helicopter landings for patients following 2 neighbor noise complaints in Laurelhurst. Good old Laurelhurst, yep.
Turn that down. I don't care what they're going through, and you're interrupting my game show.
In a restaurant at the foot of the mountain in Turkey, a deer named Mete comes in every day, and when it tries to enter, the owner kindly tells it that the behavior isn't acceptable. The way he looks at him like he's understanding is killing me. All right, well, let's see. He's honestly very compassionate. Being like, hey man, you can't do that. Like you're behaving irresponsibly. Come on, if you want to enter my establishment, you're more than welcome in, but you gotta behave. You gotta know there's etiquette, there's rules. I mean, hell, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Clearly you never heard of that. I mean, you gotta be careful, man. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. I really love that he's talking to him so honestly, just like this heart to heart with this deer. Come on, man, you gotta learn. You gotta know better. Cows are pretty calm considering the whole floor is food. The entire floor. If the entire floor for me was food, I'd be hooting and hollering. I'd be calling relatives, crying loudly. You will never believe what happened. Tears of joy. Cows are pretty, they're mellow about the whole thing. Only the French would invent a weapon that fires in 3-round bursts but has a magazine capacity that's not divisible by 3. Ain't that a son of a bitch? Well, I mean, you just made it inconvenient for everybody. Before Google Maps, you just had a buddy in another car who said, "Follow me," then proceeded to run a late yellow at the next intersection. That's when we were a proper country. And if I had it my way, we'd go back. Getting skipped 3 times while your rent is on the line? Ooh. And that's why you shouldn't add Uno to the table games. See, they're being added as a table game to casinos in Vegas. Got 150 thou on the line in Uno and they hit you with a skip. Oh, God. Do y'all think doctors be stepping out the room to search up stuff on Google? What do you think's going on? No, they step out the room to gossip about you. Y'all unfollow girls as soon as they pregnant, or do you wait to see if the baby make it first? Dude, it's Christmas Eve, bro. What are you talking about right now? Go be with your family, dude. POV, how it feels returning to your seat after giving the worst presentation known to man. The pressure's gone. And that's a relieving feeling. Yeah, I might have bombed, but at least I bombed and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, it's gone, it's done now, it's behind me. Men, do you sit or stand to pee? A lot of dudes are gonna clown me for this, but I sit because it's objectively elite. No splashback, no aiming, and it's the only 90 seconds apiece I get all day. Hell yeah, Don Chestnut. Real ass sits. Real ass squatters in the building. Pop a squat. Yeah, I got you. I feel you, Don. Isn't the law kind of erotic? According to the National Police Agency, the number of reported penal code offenses in Japan for 2025 is about 774,142 cases. In other words, a crime happens every 1.5 minutes. That means Law-chan is getting violated nonstop all day long without a moment's rest, right? You're nasty. The childhood dream to pull one of these and leave the house mysteriously, excuse me. I once got so mad at my mom, I used a broomstick and a blanket to pack like this. And I distinctly remembering deciding one of the few belongings I had to take with me was the Shrek 2 DVD. Well, you gotta have some entertainment while you're walking. The man who changed construction forever. In 1958, German inventor Arthur Fischer transformed construction forever with the creation of the plastic wall plug, a deceptively simple tool that allowed screws to grip firmly in concrete, brick, and drywall. This humble invention revolutionized DIY and professional building alike, earning Fisher over 1,100 patents and a place among the most prolific inventors of the 20th century. Way to go, Arthur. I've been messing around with more mechanisms. Elves. Nature is beautiful. The gods created us to live in perfect harmony with all creation. Dwarves and humans. We've been messing around with more mechanisms lately. More doohickeys and thingamabobs and whatsits. We love our whatsits. I'm deeply fascinated by the concept of being the first appointment of the day at the doctor's office and them still taking 20 minutes to see you because they don't want to work yet. Just give them a moment. They'll be ready. This lighting. Why is he telling me a ghost story? Why does it look like he has huge tits? Am I crazy? Oh, he does. Yeah, Markipliers? Yeah, he has them. Joking. Bitch, you better be. Memes are crazy because a few years ago, you could just send a meme to someone and be like, look, so funny. And now in order to understand a meme, you have to have watched 2 TV shows and been on Twitter for at least 3 years and know the lyrics to some pop song from 2008. That's a lot of things. It's a lot of rules. It's a lot of steps. 8 Marines outsmarted a DARPA AI meant to spot people. 2 somersaulted 300 meters. 2 snuck under a cardboard box, and 1 pretended to be a tree. And the AI missed them all because it was trained to catch people walking. This is the way. That's new movement tech. That's how we do it. L'Oreal Kids Shampoo. I remember thinking that no tears meant it wouldn't sting if it got in your eye. Totally the opposite. It did. Oh, it did. Good morning. Copulating green male, observing female, rejected pink male.
Nice argument. However, I have already portrayed myself as the copulating green male, and you as the rejected pink male.
My brother maintains a level of nonchalance that I can only aspire to reach. Hey, me and Blank are having a wedding ceremony kind of thing at Sunday at 7:30 if you want to come. You can. I mean, if it's not, it's no big deal. It's not a proper wedding or anything. We're gonna have one of those later. He strikes again. Hey man, I'm potentially moving to Indonesia. Oh, okay. That just casual? Got it. Me? What are you looking to get in this defamation case? Client? I want a public apology on his podcast. Me? Okay. How do we feel about money? We like money, right? You money? Look at you. I see you smiling. You like money. Drank some alcohol. Drank more alcohol. Yeah, let's cook it, Twitter. I bought non-refundable plane tickets while drunk. Now I'm in Tokyo for no reason with no money and no hotel. Who want me? Tom Cruise is transforming into Norm Macdonald before our very eyes. It's beautiful. His spirit clearly moved on and inhabited the vessel of Tom Cruise. There was free room in there. Research reveals that focusing on good literally reshapes your brain to seek out even more good. Hopium bros, chime in. Come on, look at that. Hopium wins, baby. A Chinese monk said that playing Counter-Strike made him a better Buddhist. Huanyan even has a Gamma Doppler Emerald Karambit worth around $9,000 titled, Sorry. Monks got video games now? Goodbye 9 to 5, hello monastery. That's what it's all about. That's really what Buddhism was meant for. McDonald's is reportedly planning a subscription fry service, offering unlimited medium fries for $20 a month. People will die. Well, thank God it's not real. Thank God that they would never do that. How the internet sees age. 20, minor. 21, just 3 years out of high school. 22, unk. 23, chopped unk. 24, stupid idiot baby with no frontal lobe, but also chopped unk at the same time. 25 through 28, almost 30. 29, 30. 30, 30 again, 31. You're pushing 40, old man. Bear wanders into City Hall building in California. I mean, you can't put a bear on a state flag and then act surprised when it shows up to a town hall meeting. You invited them in with the flag. It's obvious. Thanks, Apple Intelligence. Raging argument and replies, topic unclear. Ah, I see. Sharp rock, not see. Foot hurt, bleed. Hey, readers added context. See shaman. Oh, okay, understood. At the gym, I said subscription instead of membership, and the girl replied, what the hell? This isn't a pharmacy. Bitch, that's a prescription. We're both stupid. Oh, I hate it here. Group projects have taught me that some people really can sleep at night, knowing they contribute absolutely nothing to society. Isn't that a crazy thing? Isn't that insanity? Don't you think we need dark mode books too? Hey man, are you dumb? Are you stupid or something? I know everything costs a lot more now, but at least it's also worse quality. You know, at least those things aren't going up together. You know, better quality, more price? No. You must be mistaken. You think we're doing things for you? No, we're doing it for like 4 people at the top. Yeah, you know you up too late when he's on the TV. Xavier, Renegade Angel, you know you're my television alarm clock. You're my bedtime reminder that I will go to bed. Me, hey, can you print this black and white document? Printer, I'm offline. No, you're not. Can you please just print this black and white document with my magenta low? You would sound insane right now. Printer culture is refusing to do a black and white document because of a color it has never been asked to do once in its entire life. Why does that feel like an AI reply? It feels like something you sent this chat to ChatGPT and said, come up with a witty reply. That's what that feels like. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it feels like. My crush just gave me the ick. Oh, you've broken free. You've done it. Few understand the importance of having a sick ass jacket that everyone recognizes you by. It's like your calling card. Everyone needs one, and if you don't have one, the hell are you doing? This is true. This is a true thing. See, Bree has a jacket that is instantly her. It's got like leopard print on it. That's Bree. There's 2 wolves that live inside of Bree, and their names are Fran Drescher and Elvira, and that's her style. So So for me, I'm still finding mine, I think. Nobel Prize winner Tu Youyou discovered a malaria treatment that has saved millions of lives. By studying a 1600-year-old Chinese medical text, she found the herb had to be prepared cold instead of boiled, and she first tested the extract on herself before continuing her research. What an impressive woman, but difficult to sing happy birthday to. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to happy birthday to you. Yeah, okay. A new study shows that individuals with similar levels of autistic traits are naturally drawn to one another. Brain scans reveal they use alternative, highly effective neural strategies to connect. Every time I get along with someone, you're just like me. What's your special interest? Man breathing from a plant on the train. More like the plant's breathing from a man on the train. We know how this works. Really, it's them working together, though. They're both helping each other out. Emma Stone at Paris Fashion Week. Why does she look like she's gonna ask a historian if King Arthur came a lot? She looks like she has one question on her mind, and really only a historian could tell her. 2021. I found out my uncle and aunt were divorced. They hadn't told the family. 2022 to 2024. They kept showing up to family events together like nothing had changed. 2024, my grandpa passes away. 2026, my uncle finally admitted that he'd been divorced all along and only hid it so it wouldn't upset my grandpa. Ironically, my grandpa was the one who told me back in 2021. They weren't hiding it. Grandpa's nosy. I'm an adult and I still exit the water like this. Yeah, cause it's fun. Let's be fuzzy with mama. I love the community note. No, not mama, but another baby. It's two babies being fuzzy together. We love you too. Oh, thanks, community note. I can't believe they exposed him like that. Tom Holland, you might know him as Peter Parker, and villains might know him as Spider-Man. Spirit deadass shut down while we were in midair. We had to jump out of the plane like in Fortnite. Where are we dropping? Hopefully, LAX. I couldn't figure out where I was going. The concept of Michael in a hoodie, hat, and glasses is so insane. Like, these look as if they were taken yesterday. I'm dying that they're treating it as if Michael had died in 1960. The man was still alive when Twilight became a phenomenon and was still using an iPhone. Do you think Michael Jackson was a fiend in game pigeon games? I feel like he totally could have been. I think Big Mike was tearing it up on Moncala. Glad to see Dad's handling the divorce well. Yeah, I'm set for the week. Oh, what do we got? 3, 5, 9, 11, 15 pizzas in the fridge. And he's got a 16th off frame. Oh, he's relentless. Somebody on TikTok said, why do I have to pay $75 to be in a run club? What would y'all do if I just came and started running with y'all? Y'all are in public. That's true. Do you get kicked out? Do they kick you? Do they beat you if you join the run club without paying the run club initiation fees? It's to keep all the sneakers clean. This is where character was built. Did they mass produce this exact setup for American high schools? Because this is identical to my 10th grade chem lab. They just found one that works and then was like, that's it. You know, why reinvent the wheel, you know? My mom slapped my neighbor's wife and now I gotta fight her son, man. What the hell? I'm just trying to sleep. Okay, he's under 6 foot. I'm gonna make this quick. Little 1-2 special, upstairs, downstairs, and then back to sleep. Night, night. To the hiring managers and employers who gave us a chance when we had 0 experience, thank you. It was very nice of you. Now it's impossible. This map shows the mood European TV detectives are in. An astute observation by Mr. EmKay. And it is a very interesting map. Will the detective investigating a murder be sad? The red, we have a little key legend here. The red is those who are sad and cold, and there's a lot of sad and cold detectives. Then there's sad and wet detectives. There they are there in the pink. A swath, an absolute swarm of sad and also drunk detectives. But let's not overlook the amount of sexy detectives. I hope one of those solves my murder. Maybe you're figuring out what the murder weapon was while wearing a tasteful negligee. I don't know. I hope it's silk. The kids were asking me what time they were all born, and I said the youngest was born at 1:29 a.m. And they all agreed that it must have been nice that she just came out while I was sleeping. My 4-year-old was asking about childbirth and asked, did it hurt? As I was giving my carefully considered answer about how yes it did, but it was worth it, she interrupted, no. I mean, did it hurt me? Did I get a plaster? No, you were absolutely fine. Crying, because, you know, you're conscious now, but otherwise, you know, other than the horrors of the world, you were fine. Movies where a character embarrasses dresses themselves are worse than getting shot. I genuinely have to pause the movie to do a lap around my living room so that I don't jump off a building. Secondhand embarrassment is agony untold. That's profound. Secondhand embarrassment is agony untold. That is a quote goes kind of hard. I was watching Planet Earth 2, but I hadn't seen the first one, so I'm completely lost. What the f is a bird? Government employee, that's all you need to know. Teams, Outlook, Excel, OneDrive, Authenticator app, yeah, Copilot too, I hate all of them. The vet told me he has gray hairs and an old man's face, but in his gaze, the spirit looks young, and I don't plan to argue about it. I think they got it exactly right. The face of an elder with the spirit of those not yet grown, you know? That's kind of crazy. I've been thinking about this rock for over a week and I had to buy it. Its smug aura haunts me, and now it's in your home. Sir David Attenborough has turned 100 years old and is now officially too old to play with Lego. Yeah, once you turn 100, the Lego becomes toxic to your skin, so you have to, can't do that. Most cutting thing you could say is, who's this clown? Because it implies that they're A, clown, and B, not even one of the better known clowns, not even a renowned clown. Insane Goodwill pickup. Oh, is it full-sized? Dude, what a win. Remodeling an old house and somehow concrete backed up a toilet. Texted my dad a pic and he didn't miss a beat. Hey dad, look at this. Well, if you need to sue the contractor, you have concrete evidence. Oh, he slapped his knee real hard on that one. That gave him a chuckle for the rest of the day. I love how being actually f***ing annoying is just called rage baiting now. And if you fall for it, you're the problem. And we've somehow turned annoying into being a fun thing to do. Does that mean it's the rage baiting orange? Is that what he is now? Cooking together is a form of intimacy, and no one who actually cooks wants to cook with other people in the kitchen. I don't want to have to keep going behind. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. Men write fan fiction too. They just call it a theory and slap it on YouTube and talk about it for 40 minutes. Men, here's what I think we can expect in the next Loki episode. 50 minutes of discussing out an entire season plot they created in their head with all their faves having cameos. It's recorded fan fiction. They're doing the same thing. You don't have to be ashamed. Oomph just got broken up with. Why did I get in her car? Oh no! We're hitting speeds that not even the law could stop us at. In the stripped club, straight up jorking it. And by it, well, let's just say my penis. I actually hate TikTok poetry. It hurts, doesn't it? Seeing other boyfriends do big romantic gestures for their girlfriends. We've rhymed friend with friend, by the way. Knowing he would never do that for you. This wasn't even a poem. This was just, they were just venting. People are gonna find Kingpin's skeleton and think they found a dinosaur. Look at this. Isn't that a haunting image? The 20-year transformation of the cast of The Devil Wears Prada. We have Anne Hathaway, Stanley Tucci, who looks the exact fucking same. We have Meryl Streep, who I would also argue aged incredibly well. Really, like Stanley Tucci and Meryl Streep both have incredible aging. And Emily Blunt, who also, they all look more or less the same. I'm not gonna lie. They all kind of kept their looks. I feel sorry for Netflix era kids. They will never know the high stakes adrenaline of running to the bathroom, fridge, or bedroom in a single ad break. With the beckoning call of a sibling screaming, "It's on!" to send you hurtling over the furniture to get back in time. It was a mad dash. Nobody talks about, yes they do, shut up. Am I the only one? No, you're not, shut up. Maturing is realizing you should shut up. Can we normalize you shutting up? I don't know who needs to hear this. They don't. Shut up. Need some goddamn peace and quiet. Breaking. Nike to celebrate and honor its namesake, the Greek goddess of victory, by completely obliterating her name in the entire Greek language. Yay! I love paying homage. What's worse than a heartbreak? Stepping on your dog's tail and not being able to explain that you're sorry? No, they know. They know you didn't mean it. Japan's greatest tragedy is having the world's best toilets and no Mexican food. What's the point of owning a Ferrari if you never take it to the track? That's profound, man. Can't stop thinking about people that first ate mushrooms they found and just had to go through trial and error of like, this one tastes like beef, this one killed Brian immediately, and this one makes you see God for a week. Interesting. Okay, now we know what's good and what's not. That's homage to my ancient ancestors. We gotta do it that way. The balcony scene from Romeo and Juliet, except it's my parents yelling at each other because my dad's been taking a for an hour. Isn't that romantic? There should be a hotline you can call where you can safely pronounce words you've only ever read out loud for the first time, and then you can say, "Oh, sweetie," and kindly explain how it's pronounced. That hotline is called Google. Just Google a word. I have to do that all the time, and I still get it wrong. Please be patient with me. I got very good grades in school, but I don't actually know how to do anything. I'm book smart, but not like practical smart. Not street smart, or I don't do anything with my hands. Like I can do like basic. I'm not, you know what? Don't even look toward me. Don't look towards me at all. Jermaine Jackson is 71, married to a 27-year-old, and has a 3-year-old. Wow. I'm trying to figure out his haircut. What a disaster. He just, you know, he had just that little bit of hair left and was insecure about it, I think. I think that's what happened. My friend's dumbass dog got his head stuck. Man, I thought the cup was blasting off. No. No, it's just that dog's small ass head. Even as a child, I knew I was going to be the overly distant family member. Sometimes you can just tell what you're meant for. I'm no bear expert, but Chinese zoo denies bear is a human in costume. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Me trying to keep the combo going after she said lol. So, what groceries you been into recently? I'm liking the produce section, you know. Middle names are so funny. Like, okay, what if we gave this baby a second worst name that's a little bit of a secret? And it kind of has to be Marie. I mean, like, what if we did that just for fun, though? What if we were a little bit crazy? Discord really the place where you can make your name literally anything and people will call you that. Your name could be Door Handle, and people will hop in VC talk about, yo, Door Handle, you gonna get on the game? Hey dude, a screen name goes crazy. Do beavers even know what they're doing or do when they just see water flowing down a river and think, huh, absolutely not. Someone's gotta put a stop to that. That's ridiculous. Generational shot. This is my first time ever seeing a live action Impact frame. And yeah, it's a good one, dude. That's a Harry Warden. Hell yeah, son. Not one of my favorite movies, but it is a fun one. They should give all the college debt to one guy. Everyone else clear, one guy, $2 trillion in the hole. But no loophole for this guy. His punishment should be real and meaningful. Yeah, I mean, every 3 months, someone on here reinvents Christianity. This is just what happened. He died for your college debt. I mean, it's just the same thing. It repeats over and over. Fun game. When someone tells you the name of their new baby, repeat it back to them with their surname and say, like the murderer? What do you mean? It's actually incredible how much kids just accept arbitrary rules. Like, our kid gets 5 candies on movie night because he's 5 years old. And he's just like, I wish I could have more. And you're like, yeah. And then he just moves on? Incredible. He doesn't question why that rule's in play. That's awesome. Technology should have stopped right there. Dude, you can't even be performative correctly. Where are you gonna plug in your USB-C earphones? When are you gonna do that, huh? Tell me. Nintendo deadass just emailed me to tell me to stop buying games. I mean, why not play these games you already own? You have them all right there. The options available, why not give them a try? In 2000, professional poker player Victoria Corin was seeing a therapist to help overcome her fear of flying. Her therapist then died in a plane crash. So now she only chooses to travel by rail or by boat. That's insane because I know he thought of her when that plane was going down. As it was in smolders and smithereens, he said, oh shit. Yeah, that's gonna be, that's a step back in the progress of the healing here. Oh man. Friendship. For cats, being licked is a submissive behavior, and for rabbits, licking is a submissive behavior. So they both think they're doming. Isn't that crazy? In their own worlds, they think they're the boss. My grandma just asked me if I had a boyfriend, and I was like, no. And she was like, well, I went to a random funeral because I was bored, and that's how I met your grandfather. Apparently, the random funeral was my grandpa's dad's funeral. My grandma went to a funeral and picked up the dead guy's son. Yeah, I aspire to be her. That's a level of game I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't conceive that. It finally happened. The flight attendant asked, is there a doctor on this flight? And I leapt up and said, yes. I did a tracheotomy at 30,000 feet with a razor blade and a ballpoint pen. He didn't make it, but the thrill was undeniable. I'm thinking of going to doctor school now. Maybe I should get that medical license. This was really fun. I have people ask me all the time how old I am. I'm 69 years old and still enjoying the furry lifestyle. I saw a post this We Were a Furry said he was what the f? I saw a post this We Were a Furry said he was turning 20 this week and he was not ready to be old. I see. Old is not an age. You're as young as you act and feel. I see. Well, that's some words of wisdom, man, but you said it in a confusing way, so I do think you might be a little old. I think someone should have tried domesticating bears 10,000 years ago. We really missed the mark with that. We could be cuddled up with a bear right now, but whatever. Whatever, man. I don't even care. My coworker told me he got banned from a bar when he lived in North Dakota back in 1973. I didn't try going back to it for 30 years, but the moment he finally did and he stepped in, someone yelled, "Get the hell out of here, Dennis!" And that's probably my favorite story ever. You're telling me he remembered that 3 decades go by? Had his name on the wall with a big X on it. His picture had darts in it. You know, they were waiting for him because they knew eventually someday he'd try it. Someday he'd think that luck was on his side. No. Have y'all ever smoked weed with your parents? Yes. My dad let me hit his blunt the day Michael Jackson died, and I got so fried I thought it was my fault. I've smoked weed with my mom. I'm someone who can't handle my weed, and she can handle hers, so I knocked out and she made spaghetti. That's what ended up happening. My grandma and her siblings got together to read their parents' letters from the war, thinking it would be beautiful and wholesome. But it turns out those letters were so filthy, raunchy, and horny that several of them had to leave the room. Oh, hell yeah, they were. I mean, you telling me they were separated? They wanted each other more than anything else, and a war separated them? They probably f***ed each other raw when they saw it. You know what I mean? Till the paint was coming off the wall. Whoever designed this needs to be fired immediately. No, give him a raise. Minimalism must die. I'm indifferent towards it. I think it can be fun. Me personally, I think this logo could have been made a little bit better if they worked the bars on the Spotify logo, the sound wave, into the disco ball. I think it just being a image over the disco ball is making it look a little wonky. I think that was the change they needed to do. When he's confused by the concept of masturbation and there's no word for it in his language. Oh, within the African Congo Basin, the Aka, and is that Gandu, sorry, ethnic groups all lack a word for masturbation in their languages and are confused by the concept of masturbation. Gandu guy trying not to laugh. Is that Gandu? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry. No, dude, I've literally never heard of jacking off before. You sound crazy. You're gonna have to show me what you're talking about, dude. Friends start losing their shit and have to walk away. Dude, I promise we've never seen it. We don't know what that is. Dude, come on, dude. What you said you have to, beat your shit? Why do you have to beat it? You already pooped it out. What are you talking about? Boy watches TV for the first time in an appliance store window in 1948. Dude, I can't believe they had kids wearing 3-piece tailored suits on a Tuesday afternoon like it's casual wear. What the f was going on? What were you getting dressed up for, man? The coal mines? What the f? Spotify has changed its app logo. Is this the end of the minimalist era or what's going on? No, it's actually the opposite. Because people demanded it back, I don't think people realize they've kind of forced the minimalism era onto themselves by rejecting changes like this. You know what I mean? Like you kind of pigeonhole yourself. Not saying that the disco ball's high art or anything for the logo, but I am saying by like the loud backlash and rejection kind of forces them back into the minimalism hole. I feel like I just wanted to show my boyfriend all the eggs we have. Should I block him? Look, we have all these eggs. Did you lay all of those? Good girl. Who's my dirty little hen? My mom recently discovered Facebook Marketplace, and today I get this text from my dad. Your mother has put my life in danger over a toaster she bought on Facebook. I'm meeting a man named Rick behind Home Depot. If I go missing, start there. You're gonna be fine, Pops. He doesn't want to kill you, he just wants to get rid of this toaster. You want to give him money for the toaster. It's gonna be a simple transaction. You got this, old man. If you were kidnapped, how much can your circle of friends raise for your ransom? Awareness. They can raise awareness, and even then I'm not sure they'd raise very much. My roommate meal prepped his cereal. He's just telling himself, food is not joyous, food is fuel. Food is not joyous, food is fuel. Just making sure everything's ready for himself. Do you ever get obsessed with just one part of a song, like one teeny tiny little bar? But like that part that you need a whole song to be just that part? No, just me? That's not a unique experience, I'm sure. I mean, that one tiny little bar, that's like, you know, Macarena. You know, everyone's waiting for it to say Macarena. My son, when I tell him to smile versus when I yell out poop. Well, yeah, there's one way to get a genuine smile out of someone. It's to say a funny word, and there you go. That's the most genuine smile he could give. He went from a little Tim Robinson to a natural smile. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Courage would yell his eyeballs out, then come back with this. Well, what is he yelling at? Well, it depends on what Courage was yelling at. The answer is yes. If it was something scary, the answer is yes. But otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about. This is what a decade of sniffing perfume does to you. I thought this was the Deep in Homelander. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that's what was going on here. Anime characters really be like, I did 20,000 squats a day for 3 years, and now the clap of my ass cheek could propel me forward through time. Ha ha! Yeah, dude. That's the new anime Chrono Cheeks. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd break into a distillery. Bugs turns to Elmer and says, "Is this whiskey?" And Elmer says, "Yeah, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank." It's a good dad joke. I just got an email out of the blue from an artist I commissioned in 2020 who disappeared without delivering anything. And they said they went to jail and just got out, and then asked if I still wanted the art? That dude was sitting in their jail cell thinking about the commission they didn't finish. They're chained up. They're prevented from finishing their goal. He had one mission: to get you your art piece. With no rain for several months in many areas of Thailand and a record-breaking heat wave, a rain-making ceremony was held. Traditionally, a real cat would be used, but it seems the locals decided on Doraemon instead, a modern twist against animal cruelty. I want everyone to know that this worked so well that we went from 40 Celsius hell to hard-ass rain and thunderstorm that took out the power of our village. Our house is starting to flood, and I'm tweeting this with 1 bar of 3G. Doraemon is a water god, and I refuse to take any criticism on that. No feedback necessary. It's funny how people forget this is a site meant for quick word bites and not large essays. That's an oversimplification. Yeah, dude, it's a tweet. If you wanna know where you go for large essays? Not Twitter. That's where news sites maybe for large bits of information. This was meant to be doom scroll with quick bites, quick hits for your dopamine. That was it. Just took my ADHD meds for the first time. I'll tell you how it's going in about an hour or so. Oh, the voices and music are gone. What's happening to me? Ah! Yeah, I get it. That executive dysfunction melts away like butter. YouTubers be like, wake up at 4 a.m. and run. That's alpha. No, it's not. Look at apex predators. They're all lazy. Bears hibernate. Lions sleep all day. You know who wakes up at 4 a.m. and runs? The squirrels. Is that what you are? Yeah, you look like a squirrel the way you're trying to get a nut. We'll never come up with a slur for theater people because anyone who willingly goes into $200,000 of student debt to learn how to crawl around the floor licking themselves like a cat, they're incapable of feeling shame. There's no word you can use. I mean, there's nothing we can say to them. Timothée Chalamet was the first person to appear on top of the Sphere in Las Vegas. Dude, I'm pretty sure some construction workers got up there first. I don't like that you're giving old Timmy all the credit here. Tragic. That person you can't stand for absolutely no reason at all becomes the core member in a friend group. Oh, you hate to see it, dude. Oh, no. I never understood why panties have that little bow on the front. Well, long ago, there was no elastic band, and underwear was tied with a bow. Over time, the way it was made evolved and the bow became a decorative element. Ah, I see the historical answer. What's the radical answer? To infantilize women, which is one of men's fetishes. Ah, I see. Well, what's the hopeful answer? Because pussy is a gift. Aww. Wow. Choose which one that fits your mileage, I guess. Harper Lee, this is the worst writer's block I've ever had. Mockingbird.
This is the worst writer's block I ever had.
Harper Lee.
You know what? I think I got an idea.
My husband spent 4 days with 9 of his oldest friends. I asked him if there was any news about their marriages, kids, families, jobs, etc., and he said no. I asked what they talked about, and he said they mostly tried to name every state capital and then every African country. They were just challenging each other. That's what hanging out with your guy friends is. Challenge mode. I wish girls who want boob jobs and girls who want boob reductions could just like Venmo each other some titty. Wouldn't that be nice if it was just like a quick, no invasiveness in the transaction, just here you go, thank you for getting that off my plate kind of thing. That'd be nice. Still fascinated by the idea that someone somewhere may have never eaten spam in the manner, may have ever eaten spam in the manner depicted on the can. The spam sandwich with the big block cut out like that, like a Wendy's hamburger. Who's eating it like that? Who's done this? I hate certain stops on the bus. The fuck you mean you're getting off here, bro? Are you in the head? Why would you do that? What's the plan? There's nothing out there for you. You're gonna get eaten alive out there. Jay-Z wore a Patek Philippe Grandmaster chime at the Met Gala worth $6.5 million. I really want to know what makes a watch this expensive. So it's actually a number of things. It's probably the precious metals involved, the highly skilled labor, the man hours working on details that you wouldn't really notice or appreciate unless you're really into watches. I'm not, so I wouldn't either. It's the complications that require, again, very skilled people and very intricate pieces, and the demand. The Pateks are expensive for a reason. I mean, they're very, very, very rare. They're basically flawless. They're hand carved. It's basically a piece of art you're putting on your wrist. It's a whole thing. Stanford student Brian H.P. Chiang, I hope I said that right, created Riz GPT, a monocle you wear that displays Chat GPT output to tell you what to say in case you get tongue-tied on a date. He calls it Kaz, or Charisma as a Service. Your date? So, what do you like to do for fun? You, after a 6-second delay. This server is busy, please try again later. Haha. Do you want me? Why is wearing a hat as someone who doesn't usually wear hats so difficult and humiliating? Feels like everyone can tell I don't know what I'm doing, and they're right. I don't know. I should have stuck to my not hat wearing self, but I wanted to branch out. And now I got hat hair. So what the do I do? Bill Gates was a dropout. Yeah, but he dropped out of Harvard, not 11th grade intensive reading. It's a totally different thing. Like, don't try and it's not comparable. It's not the same thing. The 2000s were the opposite of brain rot. We were coding our MySpace profiles, jailbreaking iPhones, and pirating music on LimeWire for our MP3s. It was a good time. It was a good time to be around. Roger Federer 2007, one of the greatest tennis seasons of all time, with this body. What? Twitter is giving men body dysmorphia. Guys have memed themselves into believing the physique of a top athlete is unathletic. I think it's the looks maxing stuff, honestly, man. I think the looks maxing bullshit has really twisted like people's minds into being like, oh, dude, you got a bone smash, you got a looks mog, you got a looks max, and you got to mog people, and you got to do this, you got to do that. Dude, if you're not doing that, what are your cortisol levels at, dude? Like, I think that whole thing is so unhealthy. And I'm not surprised it's creating that kind of ripple effect. Tinder has launched their $499 a month subscription plan. Yeah, for $500 a month, that shit better tell me who's ovulating in the tri-state area. I agree, Doofenshmirtz. I better know it. I better know everything. Walmart, y'all some hoes. How y'all gonna deliver the game to me still in the security case? Can't even open this bitch. Took it right off the shelf. Didn't even worry about the rest of it. 05/23/2026, 10:40 a.m. from the Bridgewater Police. Caller from South/Pleasant Street reports male party wearing camo clothing and possibly carrying a bazooka in the area. Officer reports male is landscaper with leaf blower. All right, we don't have to worry. It's all good. Did you check the leaf blower though? Could it be disguised? Is it like a weapon skin? I mean, how do we know? Backrooms is outperforming expectations and is now set to earn $70 on its box office opening weekend. That's incredible. Budget was $10 million, potentially becoming top 5 highest ever for any horror movie. Isn't that something? $70. Congratulations, Kane. YouTuber Kane Pixels broke down in tears after his horror movie, The Backrooms, opened to $70 at the box office. Dude, this movie cost so much money. I'm so... Oh, no. Oh, God. This absolute just coming apart at the seams. I ordered one pancake in America. The waitress wrote it down and said, "One short stack, short." I am a small and humble man. A short stack sounded perfect for me. I waited with a calm heart. She returned carrying 3 pancakes, each the size of my face, stacked into a tower, with a block of butter on top, sliding down the sides like slow lava. This was the short one? I dare not ask what the tall one looked like. Some knowledge a man is not ready for. I ate it for 40 minutes. I was not full. I was afraid. The tower didn't shrink. I'm fairly sure it was growing back faster than I could eat it. I had to surrender. I left half. In Japan, leaving food is a deep shame. So I leaned in close and apologized to the pancakes directly in a low voice, one by one. The waitress asked if I wanted a box. I didn't know food could be taken into custody. I declined. I didn't want it following me home. In America, is the short stack truly the small one? I need time to prepare my spirit before I ever face the tall one. I just don't know if I could do it. I don't know if it's for me. It's just was a scary tale. Amazing things happening on Christian TikTok. Realizing you can't sin if you sleep all day? Girl, the sloth, that's one of them. You're doing one of the 7. What, hey, stop it, stop it. Just found the worst movie theater seat of all time. Fuck yeah, dude. They should pay an employee to sit there and make sure everyone behaves like you're being, what? Hey, wait a minute. Hey, you tweeted, hey, I see you tweeted, get out of here. Get out of my video, Robin. Thought you could pull a fast one on me. Jared Leto reportedly skinned himself alive to prepare for his role as Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe. Apparently he's like pretty good in that role too, though. That's what I was hearing. I was hearing he's like actually not half bad. And it's crazy because he's butchered every other role. So the fact that he's doing Skeletor justice is pretty neat.
The whole office is taking a cybersecurity course because I thought I won an iPhone. I don't know, the ad told me that I won an iPhone, and so I clicked on it and I accidentally compromised the company. I didn't know. I didn't know what was gonna go on.
This girl really said, I made you cookies, and this was the plate? See, you're not a real cookie enjoyer, because I immediately can tell these go hard as fuck. They're just breaking apart. Their structural integrity isn't there because of the ooey gooey chocolate chips inside. You telling me you're not appreciative of that? Bring me a fork and some milk, goddammit. This looks delicious. My wife has kindly asked me to stop referring to the neutered male pets in our house as, quote, my council of eunuchs. This is literally why you have a council of eunuchs. What do they advise? Right now I'm eating dinner and they're just wiggling their butts. Not very helpful. So I don't know what to take from. I don't know what the lesson is there. What I should be doing about that. I don't know what the protocol or the plan is. I remember when I was 6, I got a hold of my dad's ID and it had an expiration date. Spent 3 hours crying because I thought that was when he was set to die on that date. He asked me why I was crying and I didn't tell him because I was scared he was gonna cry as well. I carried that pain on my own. I didn't want to scare my dad. That's really sweet of you, man. Back in the day, if you did a TV show called Surf Dracula, you'd see that fool surfing every week in New Adventures. But in the streaming era, the entire first season got to be a long-ass flashback to how he got the surfboard until you finally get to see him surf for 5 minutes in the finale. And then season 2 is called Surf Dracula Vice City. He's not even by the beach anymore. What the fuck is that? There was an era we used to log in and log out of social media before we knew how dangerous it could become, how addictive it was. Minions and Monsters will feature a 15-minute sequence spoken entirely in Minionese. Well, that's because good art challenges its viewers. If you're not feeling challenged by that art, it's because you're a baby brain. That's why. And you have your media spoon-fed to you. This is what I live for. Dutch cities are adding tiny staircases and storm drains to help hedgehogs climb out after falling in overnight. That's really nice. I mean, yeah, it's not their fault they fall in. That's a really considerate thing to do. Surgeries in 2035 to remove microplastics from your bodies, and they let you go home with the statue they made out of them. And you get to pick what they make. Isn't that wonderful? That's like a fun little thing. My 87-year-old neighbor, Gerald, went door to door this morning inviting neighbors to his party. Starting at 4 p.m. and ending whenever the cops show. Oh, thank you, Gerald. I will be there. Yeah, you know Gerald was an absolute menace when he was a young man. Who said he isn't still? Who said Gerald can't hang? I sure didn't. I didn't say that. Just talked to my mom, who's 84 and has advanced dementia, on the phone. She told me at the end of the conversation, "I think about you when I'm not even thinking," which I thought was a pretty profound way to express how we all feel about those we love. I think that I wrote that one down because that's a f***ing banger, Mom. Nelson the Hedgehog was born without quills, looking like a little nutsack. He's looked after at the Foxy Lodge Wildlife Rescue in Norfolk, where he receives massages daily and lives his best life. Little scroty Nelson. Airlines must hate AirTags. My bags were lost yesterday, and this is my third call with the airline where they try to blatantly lie about where my bag is. And I can just be like, nope, that's not true at all. I can see it right here on my phone, actually. Give me an email, I'll send you the proof. President Jimmy Carter once told a joke during a speech in Japan that caused the audience to burst into laughter. Impressed, he asked how the interpreter got such a laugh. The interpreter admitted to saying, President Carter told a funny joke, told a funny story. Everyone must laugh. Hey, he's a good translator. He got the job done. Massive underground bee colony with around 5.5 million bees has been found beneath a cemetery in Ithaca, New York. Researchers believe the colony has been there undisturbed for more than 100 years. Let them chill. They've earned that. I'm not going there. That's all yours, man. I've always talked to my kid exactly like any other adult, mostly because it's hilarious. But now I'm facing the consequences. I feel like I'm parenting an elderly man in a 5-year-old's body. He went over and just stood by the window and said somberly, "There's a cold front coming in." Yeah, I did this with mine. About 3 or 4 at the dinner table when I was putting out prawn pasta, he put his hand up in a no thank you way and said, "No crustaceans for me tonight, Pamela." He also stood at the top of the stairs and shook the baby gate and said, "For fuck's sake, this is impossible." Yeah, that's the guy who, that's reincarnation at work. That's the dude from his past life being activated. I used to work at a haunted house, and I pitched a room that was a long black hallway leading to a door that said employees only. And if you were brave enough to open that, there was a sweaty guy in half a gorilla suit eating a sub saying, "You guys can't be here. Gotta get out. Gotta get out right now." It's a good room. That's a realistic haunted house. I am not okay. So, you know, my sister is a veterinary student. She said a little girl brought her hamster in because it hadn't moved for 3 days and would just sat at the side of the cage and wouldn't eat or drink anything. So she asked her if anything had happened that may have caused it. And the girl says, yeah, he escaped for a bit, but we found him under the fridge. So they have a look at this hamster and put him on the table, and he's walking around and eating and drinking all fine, which is really weird. Then they notice there's something in his cheek pouch. So they look inside and find a fridge magnet. Turns out the only thing wrong with this hamster is that it had a fridge magnet in his cheek pouch and was stuck to his metal cage. Poor guy. Didn't even know it would happen. Why is uni so academically humbling? I thought I was smart before I went, but now I don't. Well, what am I? This is so dystopian. Hashtag UK Games Expo. Oh, I'm sorry, little girl. You can't buy the Eevee plush. They're collectibles for adults. Not for silly kids like you. Oh, you stupid idiot. Guy's #1 humor rule. Oh, I see. When my hair caught on fire and my brothers called me Ghost Rider for 2.5 years. Yeah, well, that humor rule is simple. Once we confirm you're alive, everything that almost killed you becomes fair game to make into a joke. All right, that is free comedy fodder. When I was a wee emo, this guy asked me out. I didn't hear from him on the day till he texted me saying sorry and that his bat had died. So I got him a condolence card and a present and took it to the date like, "I'm so sorry about your pet bat." And he was like, "No, I meant my phone battery. I meant like battery." Well, you thought I owned a bat? What do you think? What look, crazy? Nose cuisine. Oh, a little diet Coke. The fantasy of George Lucas is to, at least me personally, is the idea that you could get $1 billion and basically stay the same guy. I mean, look at him. He hasn't changed one bit. Men are so cool. Whenever I have one in my bed, I'm so blown away by the sheer size of them. It's like when you meet a cow in real life. It's insane, really. Gen Z drinks 87% less alcohol than prior generations. Why is Gen Z not drinking? I mean, has it ever occurred to people who tweet things like this that half of Gen Z is still under 21? Has that registered yet in your brain? What's the best cheese for burgers? Yeah, it's that cheap-ass single-slice processed generic cheese. And you goddamn know it. You know nothing comes close. Starting your day with an early morning run is a great way to make sure your day can't get any worse than it started. That's like, you're starting in the valley, you can only climb up to the peak from there. I feel bad for people that can't do stuff on their own. Like, bro, eating outside by yourself isn't embarrassing. You gotta be okay with a little bit of alone time. The lucha mask and suit combo is top 10 hardest fits in human history, and you pick two of the greatest to ever do it. Penta and the Blue Demon. I feel like El Grande Americano's got to go on there. He's got some fire fits. God, there's so many luchadors that do it that make it look good. A South African pilot had to resign after it was found he had a fake license. He was flying for the last 20 years. I mean, you could have just given him a real one at this point. I mean, I feel like he's shown to be trustworthy behind the wheel. Photos that terrify Overwatch and Marvel Rivals players. Oh yeah, there you go. I need this right now. What's the silliest reason you didn't date someone? We had one charger at the moment and I needed a charge badly. Her phone was on 88% and mine was on 3%. She asked me to wait a little bit till her phone gets to 100. That's all I needed to know. Yeah, it's greedy. That is some greed. He did the right thing. Remember when people wore a long sleeve t-shirt under a short sleeve t-shirt and it meant you liked music? Remember that fashion used to say so much about someone. We don't talk enough about how incredibly selfish, ugly people are for wanting to experience love. Feels like, hey man, it's a little self-deprecating to your Hey man, you're not selfish. You're allowed to want love. Stop using ChatGPT. You guys need to just ask Reddit. I promise you, someone has had the exact same thought back in 2012. It's a very easy, just put Reddit at the end of your search. I promise you will find something. Watching Indiana Jones for the first time, do archaeologists typically kill this many people? Well, he has tenure, so that should tell you all you need to know. Sometimes I wonder what he's up to. This guy fucks Italians, big time. Any gender, anywhere. Call today. Incredible. Sorry, I'm sending this to my Sicilian friend. He's gonna tell me that they're not the same. Went to cancel a streaming service that was $10.99 a month. And they were like, okay, you got us. How about $2.99? Gonna spend tomorrow cancel threatening every service in my life. If I can get it down like that everywhere, that's gonna be, it's light work now. My son put some tricks in his ant farm. Instead of eating them, the ants dug up all of the dead ants in the farm and piled them on top of the tricks. Not sure what that means, but I'm not eating tricks anymore. The ants have convinced me.
This woman shared on Instagram, "My daughter is 13 now and has started to ask to go places with her friends. Am I doing too much by not allowing her to go unless I'm there? I hate to be the strict mom. Hey, can your daughter come with us to the movies tomorrow? What time? 4:30. Okay, I'll see if I'm available to be there. I don't just drop her off. I have to stay to watch y'all. It's okay, she doesn't have to go. Yeah, you should feel bad. Look, there's a difference between being a strict mom and ruining friendships for her. You are going to ruin friendships for your daughter. You're gonna do that. You need to understand that you are gonna f them up. You gotta be less. You genuinely need to be and do less in this regard. I hate that 6, 7 is such a common sequence of numbers to encounter. Like, imagine if the or the was a meme. You say a normal sentence and everyone's like, oh, you said it! No, it's true though. The reason it works is because 6 and 7 are sequentially locked. Of course, everyone is going to say it at some point, right? But of course, it's the most common thing in my experience, anecdotally anyway. If you're not sure of an exact number, you'll say, 6 or 7 months, weeks, hours, the amount. I got like 6 or 7 car tires. I don't know. It's too common. That guy knew it. Do you ever leave a social situation and you're just like, That was not my best work. Oh, dude, almost every social situation. My passenger in Christ, we're in row 30. What do you think you're doing standing up immediately when the seatbelt sign turns off? You know, I get it. The last couple times I've actually been in the front row, so I do get up immediately. Plus, I'm big and tall, and sitting down for long periods of time can hurt. I know I'm not alone in that, but I have a different type of hurt. The knees hurt, the hips hurt, the ankles will start to hurt. It starts to hurt, okay? In particular for me because of my height. So sometimes I'm standing up so that I can stop hurting a little bit, you know? But that being said, I'm taking a trip soon where I'm gonna be going a long distance and not looking forward to that. But I am in the back row or close to the back row. So you bet your ass I'm not really going to be feeling the need to do much. I was talking to my mom at one point and I mentioned James Franco. And she goes, James Franco? Is that like Dave Franco's brother? And I just hope that somewhere, somehow, Dave Franco realizes that he finally did it. I honestly always kind of preferred Dave, you know? I think he is a better, stronger performer for sure, and that's without the weird shit that James is known for. But no, really, I always thought Dave was better. I hope there's nothing weird going on about Dave that would make me upset. My buddies and I used to play bank account chicken, where you wire them the full contents of your account and say, bet you won't send it back, but our wives made us stop. Good, man. If you are indeed telling the truth and that was something you did, that's the weirdest shit I've ever heard, dude. What do you mean? No, I'm not sending you the full contents of any account that I have. I don't care if there's 12 cents in there or 12 million. I am not playing that chicken. Although, if you've got 12 million to send, you've probably got another 12 million somewhere else. You're probably good if they do indeed end up spending it all, right? Getting emotional about the ugly bread. Ugly bread discount. Made fresh today, just not so pretty. Dude, that's like how I feel, right? I'm the ugly bread. Okay, I don't even mean that in like a self-deprecating, give me compliments way. I mean it in like, no, I'm the ugly bread. Doesn't mean I'm not delicious and perfectly usable for whatever meal you're cooking up. I'm pretty good. I was in an 88-person polyamorous relationship for like a week. Look, I get the funny image. I totally do. However, what? How does that work? How did you even know? 88 people? No, it wasn't a polyamorous relationship. I'm sorry. There is no way on Christ's beautiful green and blue earth that there were actually 88 people actively involved. If I had to guess, there were like 6 tops, and the rest were just talked about. What, did they have like a band house or something like that? Everybody lived in there and just sort of treated it like a cult? Because at that point, it does sound more like a cult, right? There's absolutely going to be a leader in an 88-person relationship. I'm glad you got out of that because I feel like it was going to go to dangerous places pretty quick. The casino needs an Uno table. The murder rate is already high enough. Is it high enough in casinos? I'm not privy to the goings-on of a casino, but do people get murdered inside of casinos pretty often? Or at least nearby them? I know Vegas is a crazy place. I was about to block someone, but they had this as their banner, and I couldn't bring myself to block someone like that. Oh man, do you guys think we're gonna see like an unironic renaissance for rage comics from back in the day? From back in my day, when we had the rage comics, and they were all the rage. Do you think we're gonna see that? Do you think the younger generation is gonna discover them and go, okay, these are so awful. Let's start using them ironically, and then it will turn into unironically liking them, and then they'll create their own wave of rage comics, you know? Will we see another MLG 420 Blaze It era of the internet? Straight up, I will call that. I will call the 420 Blaze It whatever the hell Mountain Dew Doritos quick scoping era of the internet. I would actually call that its own artistic aesthetic. I genuinely would. That sounds dumb. I don't give a crap. Seriously. It was that prevalent for that, you know, MLG, we'll call it MLG aesthetic. It's just as prolific as Frutiger Arrow, but way lamer. Every year around Easter, I get this weird wound in the middle of my hand and nobody can tell me what it is. Do you have one on the other hand? Have you checked the tops of your feet? Because we might want to figure something out here. Has Jesus just been chilling among us this entire time and he has absolutely no idea? I'm just kidding, you're white. But that's neither here nor there. Jesus could probably come back as anybody at this point. Why not? Why not? You know? Who's he most likely to come back as? Sure, I don't think suburban white guy is going to be the pick, right? But I feel like there is a chance. Love the glimpse into the beautiful mind that notated this used copy of Moby Dick I got. Call me Ishmael, his name. Okay, right, Ishmael. I do believe that indeed would be his name. I need to just, bite the bullet and read Moby Dick. I need to read it. Do you guys think I should read it? Do you guys have any classics of fiction or otherwise that you think I should read? Identifying mushrooms be like brown cat, edible, delicious, false brown cat, toxic, fatal. Man, I know how we discovered how things were going to kill us, but it sucks. How many people have died simply in the name of, can we eat this? Can we? And did animals do the same thing as they evolved over 1 trillion years? Did they also just have to thin the herd a little bit to figure it out? Or do they have some kind of innate food compass that allows them to know for sure if something is going to kill them first or not? I know that some stuff is pretty obvious because evolutionary traits will appear that make it clear, don't eat me, you'll die. But yeah, mushrooms are weird, dude. Calling your partner my love is cringe. Me to my wife, big dog. Calling your partner my love is cringe. That sounds like that's a tweet from somebody that doesn't have someone to call my love. I'll be real with you, okay? Your relationship should be, one day you can say my love and use very flowery language, and then 20 minutes later you call her big dog, dude, broski, whatever. It should be all of those things. Earlier today while driving home, I saw 3 adults standing around a bald baby drinking milk out of a 7-Eleven cup, and I've not been able to get it out of my head. This has been tormenting me all day. Okay, we've got bald baby, largest size 7-Eleven cup filled to the brim with milk, ridiculous stance, each foot, pointed either direction, adults watching in a circle completely motionless. What are they supposed to do? What are they realistically supposed to do when you see a baby on his own drinking 50 ounces of milk, right? Because that's the largest size is still a double gulp, is it not? And I'm pretty sure that's a 50-ounce beverage right there, baby. So probably bigger than the baby, if I'm being honest. A 34-year-old man with ALS completely lost his ability to move anything, including his eyes. When a brain chip finally allowed him to communicate again, the first thing he said was, I need a beer. Oh, I bet, dude. I bet that's exactly what happened, and this is a completely real scenario. Morbid facts. Look, you should always treat random-ass Twitter accounts with these types of images exactly like I just did. Sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would totally suspect someone getting their communication skills back in one way or another. I would totally believe that he would be like, hell yeah, I need me a beer. There's just something about the way these Twitter accounts present themselves and their facts that have absolutely no source whatsoever that, you should be wary of. I just bought my first car. Hell yeah. Salesman going on vacation for a month. No, he ain't. The salesman, it's funny, salesman can make some serious money off the top for sure, but it's the owner of this giant scam. It's a scam. The owner of this place, who usually has his name on the side of the building, Big Dick Mike's Kia or whatever right? They're the ones going on vacation. They don't work. Those guys don't work. Like, let's check this out. Let's go line by line here. The Auto Nation price, $39,000. Okay, Auto Nation. Cool. Does it say what model? We had a 2026 Kia K4 front wheel drive. Just for reference here, by the way, the Kia K4, the standard low down front wheel drive, nothing fancy version, lowest trim level, starts at about $22,000 MSRP, right? But as we know, dealerships are scams, so it's double the price. They've doubled the actual price of the car. Okay, then what do we have? PPF charge. No idea what that means. And they want to make sure you don't understand what that means. That's $8,000. Cool. Undercoating charge, $5,000. Another scam. That's not a thing. Vehicle selling price, $52,000. So now we've gone from $22,000, $23,000 MSRP to $52,000. All right, then we've got sales tax. That's a real thing. Totally understand that. We have tire, battery, whatever the for $11. Now we're in the nickel and diming area. We've got a registration. I don't pay registration here. I pay the state for registration. I don't know what registration they're talking about, but because this is a new car, you're probably going to pay like $1,000 to $2,000 depending on what you're getting. All right, not $8.25. Arizona VLT. Don't know what that is. Doc fee. Bullshit. Title fee. Bullshit. Postage fee. Bullshit. Air fee. Bullshit. All right. So a $22,000 car. I get that you need to make a profit. So let's say we'll let you sell it for $30,000, right? But no, we're paying $57,000. Let's round that up to $58,000 for good measure here. And a 17% monthly interest rate. Sorry, this is one I'm not holding back. Car dealerships are the biggest scam I think the United States has ever truly come up with. You own a dealership? You. Genuinely go yourself, especially considering how car-centric the United States is infrastructurally. It's ridiculous. Screw you. I hope you guys burn in hell. Get the hell out of here, all right? Just absolutely. I also love the stock image, sorry. I know this is definitely a joke, but I've seen people get worse deals than this. I've had a worse deal than this, okay? Do not buy from a dealership. I know that that's impossible, but still try. It's been a year since I met the one that completes me. Thank you, earthen artifact that doesn't show up in mirrors and boils water when placed in it. I love you. Why have I seen this Twitter account before? Why do I know who this is, dude? Where did you get this? What is it made out of? Stop. This will make your hamstrings cry. 10 sets of mom said no to buying a toy. Hell yeah. It may seem silly, but that looks intense enough to actually, you're definitely doing something there for sure. You may not be like building muscle based on like strength, but you've got to be building some kind of endurance, right? At the very least, I imagine. I'm gonna do 30 sets of these a day. I drew a Lucario plushie with colored pencils. What the some years ago, I saw an artist that did hyper-realistic stuff like this, and I was actually kind of disgusted by the sentiment I saw. This was back pre-X, right? It was just regular Twitter. And the disrespect towards people that do hyper-realistic drawings was sad. I'm glad that that's sort of fallen off. If you can do something that's photo-real with pencils, that's beyond incredible. And the jealousy that I used to see over it, the envy that I used to see over it, I'm glad it's gone. Genuinely. I used to see people disrespect those artists by saying, well, I just use a camera at that point. Because you. That's why. Be bitter about it, I guess. That's cool as shit. A few years ago, my dad entered a dad joke competition to get his own design printed with this masterpiece. It's called the to-do list. He won, and it's still the only things he ever talks about. One, to do, to do, to do, to do, to do. I see what you're doing. You're doing the Pink Panther thing, but I still hate you. I do still hate you, Dad. I hate you with love. That is a thing. It's a real thing, I promise. I think your dad might be a bit of a dad genius, a dad 4-star general, if you will, and he knows it. Whoever made these emojis needs to be fired immediately. I don't know why. I don't use those. Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I still use emoticon. I genuinely cannot think of the last time at all that I actually used an emoji. I know that I have, but I'm a little old, so I'm still used to emoticon. So I don't care. I don't know why they need to be fired. I don't know what these are used for, but go off, dude. One of my students has used the word rectangular in an informal essay to describe a situation that was complicated and messy in multiple unpleasant and difficult ways. I am in the presence of greatness, and I am stealing this word. How much you want to bet? She thinks it's great, tweeted about it, and then failed him or yelled at him for using naughty language in an essay. Like, I get it. I understand. I do. Hang on, I just got a cameo request. That's right. I do have a cameo now. Oh my God. That's right. You can book me on Cameo to say whatever you want. But not whatever you want. Not whatever you want. Anyway, how much you want to bet she got mad about it privately, but used it for clout on Twitter publicly? That's right. Years ago, my wife and I were on an early date in a Chinese restaurant when another diner came over and said to me, "Can you shut up? You've got a very loud voice." I said, "My girlfriend has very poor hearing, isn't that right?" And to her enormous credit, she replied, "What?" Man, I cannot imagine anybody asking me to shut up. I'm a loud guy. I am. But if I'm in a restaurant where everybody is talking and I know Chinese restaurants can be a little quieter, but not really. I've been to plenty of Chinese restaurants that are loud as You come up to me because I'm loud and you ask that disrespectfully? Go yourself. Son, it's my toy. Daughter, no, it's mine. Me, you both lay claim to this toy. I shall chop it in two and give each of you half. Awesome. Yes! No, that's not. Chop it, chop it, chop it. Yeah, that definitely happened, henpecked Hal. You're not even a real person, are you? You're just making shit up on the internet. I hate you. Good boy, good girl. What if your partner is non-binary? Employee of the month. No, I do like that one. I like that one much better than the good person. That's just weird, right? Good person. I saw that joke plenty. I much prefer employee of the month. I pre-downloaded so many shows and movies for my flight, boarded my plane, and see this. I would have opened the emergency exit. Well, it depends on how long the flight is. If you're doing like an 8+ hour flight, yeah, that sucks, dog. I'm super sorry. But if you're just like going from, say, Denver to LA or whatever, you're gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. When my grandma died, she set her husband up with her best friend as a parting gift. She's now buried on one side of it, with her best friend on the other. 40 years later, later, my family is suing each other to dig up her corpse and move it because there's no threesomes in heaven. What? Yeah, there are. The hell are you talking about? There's no threesomes in heaven. Why in the hell would it be actual ultimate paradise and not have threesomes? Seriously, not even just threesomes as a concept or whatever. I mean sex in general. Why would that not be a thing? If Mario Kart was about pure driving, I would win every race. But unfortunately, my competitors insist on engaging in a great deal of unsportsmanlike behavior. Why does this sound like if Darkside Phil became eloquent? If Mario Kart was about pure driving, I'd win every race, okay? But unfortunately, my competitors insist on engaging in a great deal of unsportsmanlike behavior. There's nothing I can do. There's literally nothing I can do, okay? During an expedition of the South Pole, a dog enjoys the gramophone, 1911. Only bring the bare necessities to this expedition. What about my dog's giant gramophone? Well, there you go, dude. Pack it up, man. Let's go. Breaking. Scientists reveal eggs choose the winner. Sperm don't win the race after all. You didn't win the race. You were chosen. Oh, damn. I think my mom's eggs are stupid. Oh, no. When I got my first gyno exam as a teenager, the gynecologist asked me what I wanted to do for a career. I said to be an artist. Then while checking my cervix, she said, I wanted to be a Muppeteer. Anyway, that was the closest I ever got to being a Muppet. I have never in my life heard the term Muppeteer. That is the first time I've ever heard it, and I love it, okay? I believe Frank Oz just started doing puppeteering again, like his own thing on YouTube or whatever. I wonder what his take on Muppeteer is versus just being a puppeteer, right? Is this too much to ask for? I hurt my wife, I hurt my husband, I hurt my mommy and daddy. Why nobody loved the baby? That is an excellent question, and I feel like it's never answered enough, okay? And it also could lead to us maybe finding some answers about why so many marriages just can't survive the kid, you know? Love can be very selfish in a way. Funny how eating McDonald's is normalized, but when I eat this, I'm hated. Yeah, can I get some bullshit with 1.5 avocados? Yeah, and don't forget the ominous beige block. I'm assuming that that's tofu. But yeah, you want to know why you're hated? Well, first of all, you're not really hated. This just looks unappetizing, right? Doesn't it? I'm sure it's okay. It is a bunch of beef, avocado, and probably tofu. It's just, can people that do strict diets make their food look a little nicer? Is that difficult? And I know that I'm comparing it to McDonald's, right? And McDonald's always looks like shit. I get it. But this looks like some poo from a butt on a plate, all right? The future we're promised, but never got. Men yearn to sit in a big chair and monitor a control panel with lots of screens, knobs, dials, and buttons while monitoring the situation. It's a lot of monitoring going on. That truly is. Cassette futurism, I think is what it's called, is a really undervalued aesthetic, right? If you want to see more of it, go watch the first Alien movie specifically, I think has a lot of it. I think it's called cassette futurism. Either way, once you start learning about these aesthetics, you'll never go back. Your file size, it's too big. Okay, well, I'm still not paying for Nitro. Dude, same. I'm kidding. They have got my ass way too often lately, okay? I'll pay for it a month at a time as needed, but I hate it. Screw you. How did philosophers make money, bruh? Did they just drink wine on their balcony and shout random crap like, fear what you are not, or become that what you fear? Then there was a crowd of people below them like, damn, another banger. He going crazy tonight. This guy don't miss. Honestly, probably. I don't know what it was like living back in the days of philosophy's initial bloom, right? But I'm sure they weren't paying $2,000 a month rent while working for $1 an hour at the local 7-Eleven. Every French beach town has a little cafe called Le Nautilus, and every American beach town has a little cafe called Scratchy Dick's Big Slut Crab Shack. It's true. Now, what about the little restaurants on the coasts of the UK? What do they always have? Is it always a stereotypical British pub called the Frosty Postage Stamp, or the Rusty Cartwheel? Sorry, the Rusty Trolley Wheel, or dare I say it, the Crab's F*** at Midnight? I feel bad for boomers. Their parents taught them rules like wearing a hat at the dinner table is rude, and they were too stupid to be like, that makes no sense at all, man. Boomers will take their hat off at a restaurant because it's disrespectful, then verbally berate the waitress. I do feel like boomers were taught some form of respect, but they were being taught a form of respect when segregation was just commonplace. So what the f were they really being taught? These guys were taught that it was all a ruse, genuinely. I don't know how the greatest generation was really raising them, but it seems like everything was a facade. Like all of the manners they were taught were a facade, because at any moment, the boomers themselves would drop that shit like a bad habit and turn into the worst people you've ever met. Not all of them, of course. I generalize the boomers a lot because, quite frankly, hey, come on, guys, you deserve it a little, okay? But yeah, it just feels like they were taught to pretend to be respectful until the slightest inconvenience came their way. Imagine being prompted to sign in with an authenticator from here. I have 2 versions of Outlook and neither of them are working is actually a generational NASA quote now. Not quite one small step, but every generation lives in a different world. That's true. And I've said this to my friends. I genuinely hope that Microsoft felt beyond embarrassed. I know that it was more than likely an internet connectivity issue, being in space, but Microsoft, I know you guys all watch EmKay together. I know you gather around in the break room and watch these. So please make Windows good. Make it good, all right? You know what? Let's all go back to XP. Let's just rewind the clock to, past 7, we're going back to XP. Instagram growth gurus are so funny. He can't use his laptop because he's holding a drink. He can't drink because he has a cigar in his mouth. He can't smoke a cigar because both hands are occupied. Well, I think you can smoke a cigar without any hands, you know? You're not, like, right? Anyway, this photograph, if it is an actual Instagram guru, this is what performativeness is. This is what it is. He made sure to take off his shirt, put a cigar in his mouth, grab a martini, grab his laptop, and take the most forced-looking vacation photo I've ever seen in my life. Or, not vacation, but, you know, the grind never stops type shit. You know, this is what performativeness is. Hand study. Study a bit more, dog. Well, I mean, it's an interesting shape. I do wonder. This feels intentional. This does not look like a hand that was oopsie-poopsied somewhere along the way. I wonder. My boyfriend bought 12 beakers for us to use as cups? No. Can we get actual cups? I don't trust beakers, dude. I don't know why. I don't know. Just had sex with Kate. Good night, everyone. Can confirm it was good. Thanks to those asking. Hell yeah, guys. I'm proud of you both. I knew a kid who would only respond to questions with up your butt and around the corner, and literally no one cared when he went missing over the summer. Okay. All right, guys. I only use 1 of 4 sides of the cheese grater. The other sides are too advanced. I don't know cheese like that. Dude, same. Genuinely same, man. I'm not advanced. Ladies, what's the worst lie you've heard come out of a man's mouth? Apparently, men are very creative with their lies. Found a bra in his suitcase, and he said it's his from when he was fat years back. He said he had saggy titties and kept it to remind him how far he's come with his weight loss journey. Damn. That's the type of lie you might initially believe because it feels like such a hard admission to make, you know what I mean? Rowan Blanchard. Sabrina Carpenter has a Wario? I don't know who that is. I mean, I know who Sabrina Carpenter is, but I don't know who Rowan Blanchard is, but okay. Was in Paris on Friday night, and a handsome French man was flirting with me. And I asked him what his name was, and he said very Frenchly, you will be disappointed. And I thought, what a silly thing to say. And then he said, it is Kevin. And you know what? I was disappointed. Yeah, dude, come on. If I meet a French guy and his name is Kevin, come on, man. Is that even a French name? Why can't you be Pierre? Why can't you be Laith Pierre? Huh? Why can't you do that? Why can't you have a real cool name? Oh boy. By the time you're hearing this, I will be out of the country. I'm going to my death. That's right. Unfortunately, May will be the last month that you ever hear Robin on EmKay because they're killing me. I'm sorry. At the very least, I've done a bunch of these before my trip, so it makes my death slightly more convenient. Thank you to the EmKay executives, editing team, and everybody that's willing to put up with me disappearing for almost an entire month. These guys are great, and it's one of the reasons this has been the longest job I've ever had. Still love it here, but like I said, I'm gonna die, so that sucks. So is macaroni and cheese MAC because it's short for macaroni, or is it because MAC is an acronym for macaroni and cheese? Oh, I've never heard this question before. I've never just called it MAC. The acronym wouldn't make much sense if it was mac and cheese, because I've never heard anybody say MAC. In my pockets of the US, I've never heard that said. Generally, when someone says, let's make mac, we're making macaroni and cheese, we're making mac and cheese, but usually we say macaroni and cheese. It's sort of an ATM machine moment, right? Ooh, look at me, I'm Aang, I'm the Avatar, I'm 6'4" and mastered all the 4 elements, and I have a flying bison and a stunning wife. Like, man, you greedy ass Avatar. What is he supposed to do? Oh no, his lobster too buttery. Look, I guess Aang's a pretty humble guy, I imagine. You know, if you egg him on enough, I'm sure he'd brag about all these cool things, like his hot wife and his cool bison and the fact that he's the Avatar and whatnot, but he's not just gonna do that. He's a pretty cool guy. Maybe he would have bragged about it a long time ago, right? But as he aged into a normalish man, there's no way in hell he would have just gone forth and been a greedy shithead, right? No, not at all. My roommate is 2 days days younger than me, so I've gotten into the habit of saying, when I was your age, and then describing what I did 2 days ago. See, that's genius. We need more of this energy when it comes to our friends and family that are younger than us, even if it's by like a minute, right? If you can verify that someone you know in your life is younger than you by just minutes, for the love of God, please do this to them. It is so funny. It's like I've got a friend that is 3, 4, 5 inches shorter than me, right? They're short. Shorty. Haha, you're short. It's as simple as that. Ooh, what are you gonna do about it, shorty? It's fun, right? Eventually, though, what's gonna happen is you're going to come across, with that friend, someone that's like an inch taller than you, and then you're short. That's the law of the land. That's the way this works, man. There's nothing you can do, but it's good fun. What's the lowest stakes conspiracy theory you have? I think airplane mode is a hoax because they don't want you texting your friends and telling them you're not having fun on the plane. I like that the airline in your mind would be worried about you going, planes are stupid, which, yeah, of course we're not having fun on the plane. That's not the fun part. Getting there or arriving is the fun part, right? I had a friend who doesn't care for sports. Sit and watch a basketball game, and he's quiet for a bit and just barks out, yeah, I don't think there are that many squeaks. They gotta be pumping them in. That was over 10 years ago, and I haven't watched a single game without thinking of it. Dude, what does that mean? They gotta be pumping them in. What? Is there a guy down on the floor who's radioing like, all right, can you add more squeaks? It's just not enough, dude. It's not enough. It is real, though. I swear to God, if you've ever had some tennis shoes, basketball shoes, whatever, even like non-sporty shoes, and you run around on a waxed hardwood floor that's used at basketball courts, you will be surprised at how often you're squeaking. And it's further enhanced by having to stop and start really fast, you know? So they are real, I swear. Once you actually go outside and talk to normal people, you'll realize that none of this Twitter shit is real at all. Yeah, that's true. That is unironically very, very true, okay? The things that you see people up in arms about on Twitter or Blue Sky or otherwise, nobody outside of your house has any clue what the f*** is going on there. And they're the majority, right? Just get off of Twitter. Most of that stuff is fake. The only time you should be on Twitter is if you're following my account at XYCRONVA, baby. That's right, ZycronVA. That's the only time you should be on Twitter because I'm the only person on Twitter who's cool, right? Everything else, not real. All fake and gay. Judge. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Me? No. What do I do? That's a good question. I mean, I'm sure there's a really stupid protocol for this where the judge is like, cool, well then I'll hold you in contempt because judges are weird and can... I don't know. I'm sorry. I could rant about how much I dislike the ability that judges have to do whatever they want, whenever the they want with impunity as long as they're in that courtroom, right? But what do they do? What's the... Here, in the comments or over on my Twitter, remember, like I said, that's the only Twitter you're allowed to see. Over there, let me know. What's the protocol? Do you know? Have you worked in a courtroom? Are you a judge that's gonna go yell at me? Tell me. What's the protocol if someone just goes, nah, I'm gonna lie. Badass friend recognized the chip brand my friend was eating in a call by the crunch. I am friends with literal celestial beings. This has the same vibe. This has the same vibe as, but one step crazier than the queso clip where he's able to recognize all the burgers, which by the way, I know why that clip went viral. I know why it was funny because he's a heavier dude, even though, well, I'm not gonna ramble about that. Queso's a really cool guy, right? I always hate hearing those types of jokes, man. It makes me sad, dude. He's cool. But I know that clip is funny. I could do the same thing. No joke. I could have had the exact same thing because I'm a gooby American guy who's eaten every fast food burger under the sun. So I have that skill too. Okay? I'm just saying, man. Look, was Live Golf successful? No. Did it bolster the reputations of everybody involved? Also no. But was it fun? Once again, no. I don't know what this is referring to, but it sounds like one hell of a miserable event if I'm being honest. Like miserable, miserable, miserable shit. I'm glad I don't know what it is. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Mike. Or maybe you found it really funny. Let's see. Meat eat plant. Meat eat meat. Plant not eat meat? Ah, community notes say plant yes eat meat. It's a little more rare, but yeah, there are plants that eat flies or bugs or whatever. Aren't there some plants that are big enough to even get like small game? Like when it's mice, rats, some bunnies, stuff like that. Aren't there plants large enough that do that? Or am I thinking of some weird up reality like Jumanji, right? I know there are no plants that do that though. And I'm very, very glad because I'll be real. The giant yellow flower monster from Jumanji still haunts me to this day, okay? Plants can be kind of scary, all right? They make for good monsters. Hell, we fought one in Resident Evil Requiem, man. That thing was terrifying, right? Probably the most terrifying part of the game, even though the boss fight was really easy. What if Big Bird exploded in the Challenger disaster? Girl at a party asked to see my YouTube recommendations because it's a good test for red flags. And this was the first recommendation I had. See, now that wouldn't be a red flag for me. I totally get what she means, though. There are some videos that would make me go, huh? I swear, there are a few. I'm not gonna mention a bunch, like specifically, because that's not what I mean. But you know the types of videos, right? If their recommends are just full of Alex Jones selling you butt pills or something like that, yeah, that's a bit of a red flag. But stuff like this, how can you not click on this? Matter of fact, Zach just showed me a video that has this same aura that's about how, thanks to 9/11, that's probably why we got the Bay Transformers movies, right? How can you not click on a video that has a title similar to that? It's not exactly what it is, but the thumbnail of like Megatron next to the towers, like how do you not click on a video like that? Anybody in their right mind would be like, what the f are you talking about? This lady on TikTok is going through a custody battle with her ex-husband. These texts sent me to the moon. So, you're not gonna let me talk to my child. You can't keep me from talking to my child. David, she is 11 weeks old. She is incapable of speaking on the phone. Allie, Daddy loves you very much, and I will protect you from your mother. You will be safe very soon. Daddy loves you so much, and I'm sorry your mother is sick in the head. Daddy's going to call the judge and get this fixed right now. She can't read either, David. Yeah, that shit right there is pathetic, man. That is so creepy. I don't know what it is about that I find weird. 11 weeks old, and you're not talking to the baby. You are not talking to the child in this text. That is so weird and gross, and I don't think a judge is gonna look at that and go, yeah, you come out looking normal in this situation, dog. Because they're going to read the texts. You know that, right? This meal prep shit too easy. Look, I'm all about the spam musubi, is that what you would call it? The white monster? I don't know. Look, I've heard that drinking white monster might turn you a little gay. You know, just like it did with the frogs, right? I don't know what it is about modern Monster, man, but I love that Monster has stuck around in the zeitgeist of things over the years, because when I was a kid, 500 years ago, it was all about green and blue Monster, because blue was the low carb, green was the standard. It was about those two. They were the bomb, and now we have the zero sugar variants that have the artificial sweeteners that'll kill you instead, right? Very different worlds. However, at least one isn't going to progress your diabetes. But it might give you a heart attack one day if you're overdoing it on the caffeine. Remember, pay attention to your caffeine intake. And with all that spam, watch your salt intake too. I don't want any of you guys to die, all right? If you're gonna turn into an Amazon Basics feminine man, then please watch your salt and caffeine count so that you can stick around for longer. That's all I'm saying. I'm putting that out into the world right now. Met Khalid. Why does it look like Khalid met you? That's a great question. Also, who is am I saying that right, Khalid? Am I saying that correctly, or is it Khalid? Is it something different? Is he not the guy on the right? Are you the guy on the right? Sorry, I don't know who this person is, so I'm not, exactly in on this, but it would actually be funny as hell to ask a celebrity of any kind to be like, okay, I'm gonna look nonchalant. Can you lean in and smile? So that's hilarious. And I feel like we should be asking celebs to take photos like that far more often. Make them lean in. Huh? I'm just kidding. Please leave them alone. Interviewer, can you explain the gap in your CV? Me. I spent 6 hours formatting it in Google Docs and you opened it in Word. Yeah, literal gap, not actual time gap. There's a physical gap represented on this document, my man. What is it missing? Fire. Yeah, good God. Dude, that's just regular old bread. That egg is not done. Neither is the bacon. Neither is the sausage. The beans are probably fine, but if I had to guess, they're ice cold. At least your coffee's okay, It's not super dark, it's not super light, so it's not a cup of milk and it's not black coffee. Look, I can be okay with black coffee on occasion. Get yourself a present, as Agent Cooper says, but I've always been a cube of sugar, a little bit of milk, perfect cup of coffee in the morning for me. Delicious. The rest of that stuff, for the love of God, toast that bread, cook that food. If a hotel charges me to park, I'm running the water 24/7. You guys know nothing about how to damage property long term. Inject raw egg with a syringe into soft furniture and beds. The smell will appear only after a few days. Impossible to get rid of, total change of furniture. I followed you because you're evil, and I love that. I have wondered, like, if we all started doing stuff like this full time, what would the result be? Like, genuinely, what's the best way to protest against scamming us? Because yes, if I paid you $400 per night to stay at a fancier hotel and you have the balls to charge me $80 extra to park my car there or whatever, I want to take that out on you. I do, because that's bullshit. It's just nickeling and diming the whole way there. What is the best way we can get back at billionaire industries or even trillionaire industries to where they might actually change something, right? Like what happened with Pepsi, where we just stopped buying the chips because they were too expensive, right? Because they own Frito-Lay, don't they? So now they're like, fine, we'll bring the price back down, and now they're doing great again. How do we do this with hotels properly? Because I feel like injecting eggs somehow, like I'm gonna bring a syringe and eggs with me to get back at Hilton? I don't think so. What's a real, you know what? We could pull the fire alarm and then burn the building down. It's fun that each finger has a little symbolic job. Cool/not cool. That thing there, you're driving as poor, I'm not available for dates, and while drinking tea, I'm so fancy. Yeah, look, if we're gonna use our hands to have entire languages, like sign language, of course our hands are going to be able to be utilized for very specific cultural things, like the middle finger. I feel like I can take the middle finger anywhere on earth, and I'll be able to piss somebody off with it, right? Anybody. Sure, I feel like other countries will have their own variations of it and whatnot, right? But a middle finger, that shit just works all over the place. It's crazy. Sitting in my chair, thinking about playing a game, but not doing it, and it's kind of like this right now. Dude, I can't tell you how many hours over the last 5-6 years I have spent looking at my Steam library, trying to find a game I feel like playing, maybe installing one, starting it up, and then going, ugh, never mind, closing it and uninstalling it. I just did that with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I feel bad because I never finished that goddamn game. I don't know what my problem is. One thing I can tell you, though, is I'm trying to get the feeling back. So hey, quick thing, if you look down in the description below, you'll see my channel, Zycron, the old one where I used to game on it. You should go give me a follow there. I've been uploading gameplay videos again, and it's been really therapeutic and fun. No more thinking about cows for me. I'm actually trying some stuff and taking suggestions. What games would you want to see silly old me play when you're not hanging out on EmKay? We used to legit dial the phone, speak to a receptionist, wait on hold, and interrupt our mom's work day just to ask if we can eat a popsicle. That's true. I remember I had to call my mom many times while she was at work to ask her for permission to do this or do that, and it's interesting. Eventually, of course, at a certain point, I finally got a cell phone and could just text her and ask her so she could, on her break or take a minute to answer. But yeah, I used to call like the IHOP all the time, be like, hey, could I talk to her real quick? Could I ask her a question? Thank you. It was so funny. So funny thinking back on it versus how much easier it is to ask your mom or dad if you can do something now. So you kids don't know how good you have it. You'd have to talk to your parents' coworkers. That was scary. My gas burner suddenly turned green. Should I be worried? It's green. You can now cook. When it's red, you have to stop. Red fire, green fire. I remember playing that in elementary school. Let's see. Told IRL I woke up early to go pick up this lamp from Marketplace, and wait, what? Hold on, what'd you say? Okay, hold on. I feel like it should start moving on its own, or would start moving on its own or something, like a Toy Story. So I have this thing called a grip on reality. You feel like you know everything about everything. You need to leave some space for the universe to surprise you. Thank you for your take on that, Samantha. Really cool. But really, that is a great line, and it's true. You really, really should. I know in this climate, it's hard to have whimsy, but if you're just too damn grown up, you're only doing yourself a disservice. Or, you know what? I take that back. You're not just doing yourself a disservice, but friends don't like it when you're just a statue. Why can't you be enamored by this ass lamp, dude? Why can't you also be so enamored by it? It's crazy. What would it hurt if you were like, dude, yeah, you're right. This bitch is gonna wake up in the middle of the night and try to eat all my bacon. This is gonna be like Night at the Museum, but my house. Does my dog think my foot is an extra hand when I'm petting him with it? Or does he think it's like insanely disrespectful? I don't know how to answer that, but I can safely say, I don't think your dog knows. I mean, maybe they notice that your foot is something that you're always just wandering around on and not utilizing to grab stuff or whatever. So maybe they think differently, because how often are you petting your dog with your foot? Probably not very often, right? So when it happens, I'm sure they're at least a little confused, but I doubt your dog is like, this dude. Lactose maxing to prove to my alters we are not lactose intolerant. By Talos, this can't be happening. Oh no. That's what lactose maxing looks like? A glass of milk and a thin slice of extra cheese pizza? Did you put something else on the pizza? I'm confused, man, because I don't see see a bunch of cheese cubes and a milkshake on that table, man, how can you be lactose maxing without all the lactose that's involved in getting it done? Martian sneak attack on Phobos, imagined in the 1970s. I love that the Martians are advanced enough to be in outer space, but they try to kill the guy with a hammer. I mean, it's a sneak attack, right? He's got to get close. Look, I don't care how far civilization advances. A hammer's a hammer. Hammers are good at killing people, even though that's not what they were built for. Do you think we're going to have like a better version of that? Or are you boring and just hoping that these Martian guys were going to zap him with a laser from 30 miles away? Because that's not very fun artistically. How do you show that and have it be as cool as this exact scene? Tell me right now. I cooked it for you. We need more people using shitty Photoshop like this instead of using AI. Yeah, I get it. Can we stop saying this though? And the reason I say stop saying this is because the more that you continue to relitigate this, much like I have, the longer you're gonna keep the bots using it. Just be like, this is funny as done. I understand it's not gonna give you a hit tweet though. I will admit that you won't get a hit tweet if you're not bitching about something. I totally understand that. By the way, if you do go to my Twitter account, I do have a blue check mark. I did not pay for it and I did not ask for it. I don't know who did it, but I guess if you want to spend that money on me for no reason, you go right ahead. I'll figure out how to hide the check mark later. It's weird, man. I don't get it. I wish we could choose our baby fathers. Someone come tell her before I do, because I'm gonna hurt her feelings. I wish we could choose. That is an interesting sentiment, is it? I feel like I know what she may have meant. Maybe she's trying to work out a thought that's similar to you can't choose your family or something like that. But ma'am, I really hope you do realize that you do indeed have a choice when it comes to who gets you pregnant or who you get pregnant with or by. You do have that. I know accidents happen, that's for sure. I totally understand that. But those accidents happen more often than not due to negligence, which is also a choice, right? Saying, hey, I'm not gonna put on a condom is a choice that is being made that is usually both parties' fault, unless the guy is the type of dude that needs to get shot and beat to death, but that's neither here nor there, right? Right. You do have this choice. The best way to find typos in your work is to carefully and meticulously proofread it, publish it for public consumption, and then casually glance at a random page 2 weeks later. That is true every single time. I uploaded a Let's Play of the game Subliminal on the Zycron channel, which you can find in the description below, and I watched that bitch time and time again. I had my friend proof watch it for me multiple times, and an edit still randomly got moved. One of my edit jokes just got shifted over several seconds, and it pissed me off. Kinda makes it funnier, but very annoying. If your husband doesn't take pictures of you, it's actually a good thing. No material for the tragically departed first wife montage, so you'll be narratively safe. My husband loves taking photos of me and saying, oh, this will be so good for the pre-revenge dead wife montage. I'm sorry. I like photography. I will be taking a billion photos of you. Not to throw around at the public and make you feel bad or anything like that. They're for me. And of course you, if you ever want to see them. But non-negotiable, I'm taking pictures of the person I love and I'm going to be keeping them, and no, I will not delete that one, okay? And I would expect the same from you. If you take a bunch of photos from me, I'm not going to tell you to delete one that you really like. I sent my brother to get us toothpaste and he came back with this. I'm 24, he's 32. Yeah, but it's still anti-cavity toothpaste, tastes like strawberry, you dork. So use it. Honestly, this has big, they were out of everything but this energy, and I'd rather have this than nothing, dude. Married coworker accidentally called me by the name of his wife in front of everybody. What? 2021. I found out my uncle and aunt were divorced. They hadn't told the family. 2022 to 2024. They kept showing up to family events together like nothing had changed. 2024. My grandpa passed away. 2026. My uncle finally admitted they'd been divorced all along and only hid it so it wouldn't upset my grandpa. Ironically, my grandpa was the one who told me back in 2021. Why does this happen more often than not? I mean, okay, I guess I can't say more often than not, but why do people do these things? Why do people do these things, right? I can understand to a certain degree, like not wanting to let some news drop that could affect somebody, but can you imagine just lying about being married for several years until someone dies? Meanwhile, that person always knew. That's just weird. Dr. House, I've heard your name. Most people have. It's also a noun. How do the people in this show not beat him with hammers every time he opens his mouth? Honestly, EmKay, brilliant character. I think House is a great show. The character is an all-timer. Don't really like Hugh Laurie at this point, which sucks because he was always a favorite growing up. But what are you gonna do? Guess another bit of art that has to be separated from that artist, I suppose. Anywho, I love Las Vegas. Me, I'm drunk and locked myself out of my room. Desk, I'll print you out a new key. Anything else? A free beer would be great. How many would you like, sir? One would be great. Thanks. Hey, dude, Vegas wants you to be as inebriated as possible. That's how, or one of the ways they make the money that they do, dog. So I guess if you're gonna be there, make use of whatever you can. Asking random employees for beers, they'll probably just hand you one, dude. Give it a go. Give it a go. But if there's one thing and I think most people on planet Earth can recommend, it's don't even bother. Pretend like you're gonna go gamble and then don't. Don't do it. Take advantage and don't spend a dime on anything that's not food or actual fun. Do not touch the gambling, please. Wait, y'all, is Sonic an otter? He looks kind of like an otter. The hedgehog? If my last name was the Hedgehog and some bitch on Twitter asked if I was an otter, I'd be on the news. Really though? Do you not know how to read or listen? He said his name many times. He is Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? It's not that hard. Losing my mind over the idea that pigeons existed before cities. Like, can you imagine pigeons just hanging out in a forest eating bugs instead of gutter bagels? I personally just don't buy it. Dude, pigeons are amazing. I'm so tired of how many animals exist in our daily lives that we consider to be vermin and horrible, like pigeons, seagulls, rats in general. I know rats definitely have had their fair share of, with humans for sure, but why are we so against pigeons and seagulls? I get that they're annoying, but can we stop vilifying animals? The best part of Sublime's What I Got is when they sing, I can play the guitar like a mother riot, and then proceed to play the guitar as though they just learnt guitar today for that one specific section only. Was that not the point? I was applying for homeowners insurance today, and they asked if I had any pets, to which I said, yes, 2 cats. And then they asked me, have they ever been trained to attack or cause bodily harm? And I want to know if anyone had been able to do this, because I'll hire you. This is her vaginal microbiome report. 100 out of 100 score. Top 1% of all vaginas. He said my girl's is the most edible out there. He said he's eaten Wagyu grass-fed free range. What is this? And why do I feel like this is really weird and creepy? The person who names a thing is often more powerful than the real discoverer. I call this Reed's Law. I think about this a lot. That's great. If Stan, Edgar, and Cecil swapped roles and had to manage Omni-Man and Homelander, who actually handles their soup better? Cecil would have been running the 7 like the fucking Navy. He's not letting none of that bullshit slide. I don't know. I know a little bit about the boys. I don't care about Invincible. Just not my thing. I don't know. So I don't know if I can agree or not. A few months back, I moved into a new house, and my neighbor Chuck warned me that him and his friends are rowdy. I said I wanted to hang with them. He said when I'm ready, I'll know. This is that moment. My buddy got some original Recipe 4 Locos from the dark web. We're gonna drive up to the cliffs, drink those, and throw some big-ass rocks off. Would that be an activity you'd be interested in? Dude, original Recipe 4 Locos from the dark web. How old would those be? I'm not drinking that, dude. I will go throw rocks with you, though. How can we recognize when something is strawberry scented when actual strawberries don't even have a smell? This tweet is pissing me off because it makes sense. Well, they probably just created a scent that it's perfect association. What else can you say, man? I got a scam call recently where the guy asked if I had bought $3,000 worth of Amazon gift cards, and I said, yep, that was me. So fast, he started laughing. He couldn't get through the rest of the prompt without laughing more. That's great, though. Imagine getting a scam caller to laugh their ass off. That's gotta be an achievement. An actual real-life achievement. Bro, somebody just passed out after the ending of Infinity War. Happy 8 years to the best tweet of all time. Sorry, I disagree. No. I mean, I can't give you the best tweet of all time off the top of my head because that's not how my memory works, but this one's kind of mid. Like, seriously, that's how I feel. Made an absolutely devastating typo in the group chat. I have a toot canal soon, and I know they're gonna give me painkiller prescriptions. Toot canal? Root. Toot canal. I didn't say that. I didn't say toot canal. What do you think? I'm getting some kind of procedure done in my ass so I stop farting so much? Is that what you think? Just got my toot canal. My ass is killing me. My boyfriend's gym bro dude broke up with him. What? Hey bro, I'm gonna start going alone. I don't get the same pumps with some of your workouts like I do alone. I was talking to the big black dude, and it has a lot to do with the fact that we have different body types. And I'm just talking about the chest and back workouts. Arms, legs, and abs are always amazing with you. Gym bro breakup. This is is tragic. What do you mean? Like all the other workouts are still amazing with you, but it's just because of chest and back that you're breaking up with me? The trophy for the Cadillac Championship next week, plus the idea behind it. There is a human process and creativity that cannot be prompted away. I love this trophy. This shit is genius. Saw a guy hold his baby up to a painting like this today. We should stop taking pictures of people in public and resort back to drawing from memory. I agree. Much funnier in this case. Always wondered why élève is in uppercase and the letter N is in lowercase. I don't want to know, dude. An Uber Eats driver has gone viral for including her feet in delivery photos to get bigger tips from customers. Gotta respect the hustle. Yeah, what the f do I care? Dude, if she gets bigger tips from this, I wholly support it. Keep doing it. You're a genius. Honest to God, she probably gets 20 to 40% more pay on average for this, right? Not gonna work on me, but the fact that it does work, you should be exploiting that. Park Baum is expected to become the richest person in the world if she wins the case, surpassing Elon Musk. Please God, let this happen. It would be so funny. Pulled pork got pork in it? What? No, they pulled the pork out. Oh, that's what I was thinking. I never thought about it that way, but I like that. I like that a lot. Last night, my boyfriend got drunk and told me if I tried to kiss him, he would call his woman. And I kissed him, so he called my phone just to tell me that I tried to kiss him. That right there is a good boy, okay? That's a good boy right there. You got to keep that one around, all right? You know why? Because if any tramp tries to pull up on his shit, he's going to call you right away and tell you to kill that bitch. And that's exactly what he should do in that case. I don't know why I went into this accent when I started doing that, but you keep that boy. This isn't a palindrome, but this is. What? Club Juggle, you're confusing me, man. Don't do this. Don't do things that people have to pay attention to understand. Like, don't do that to me, okay? I'm dumb, all right? Can you jingle some keys in front of me? Can you put Subway Surfers up next to the posts that I'm reading so that I can feel better as well as the viewer? Oh, that's better. In first grade, I told this boy I like his accent. And no longer than 10 minutes later, my teacher pulled me out into the hall to teach me the difference between accents and speech impediments. Ah, well, it's cute that you liked his speech impediment, though. What was said speech impediment? And I guess it's good that someone taught you at some point. Somewhere along the line, we do have to be told the distinction between one thing and another and to understand that they are indeed two different things. You probably didn't even know the term speech impediment. I would assume that he just had a stutter and you thought it was cute. Job postings are always like, do you want to work at a fast-paced and high-pressure environment? What? No, not at all. I have always wondered, like, I understand there are some people that want fast-paced. Fast-paced and always being busy and having something to do is actually kind of nice for turning your brain off and getting home faster, or thinking that you're getting home faster. For instance, when I worked at Spirit Halloween for a couple seasons, the downtime of having to run around and slowly restock costumes sucked, but when it was really busy and I was up running the till, that shit went by so fast. That stuff goes really, really quick. I don't know why there's a difference, but no, I don't want to work in a high-pressure environment because the pressure usually comes from shitty management, and we can all admit that, right? First meeting of, is it Kara and Clark in Supergirl? I'd become an alcoholic too if I lost my family and planet, and all I had left was a mission to raise my infant cousin, and then I arrive on Earth, and he's this 6'5" smiling hunk who is older than me now. Yeah, I'd be a little bit annoyed, but that's okay. Look, wait, what was the rule? What was the rule for them to get drunk? Don't they have to like go to a solar system with a different sun or something like that allows their metabolism to like actually like process alcohol or something weird like that? I remember he said something at the end of that movie. I don't know. I'm not really into superheroes anymore, but I am kind of excited to see how Supergirl comes across. I think it's cool. I'm a little excited for that. I'm more excited for that than I am for another Superman. I will tell you that. I'm just kind of bored. I don't know if you feel the same way. Movies have felt a little too rubbery for a while on the giant budget spectrum. I don't know. Go see I Love Boosters. Go see Backrooms. Go see Obsession. Please, for the love of God, go see some stuff that challenges what a movie in Hollywood is. Go see stuff that, well, would probably reject the Hollywood term in general, right? And didn't cost $300 million to look like shit. If a woman asks if you notice anything new, tell her, I do. Your beauty surprises me every day. Then continue thinking about velociraptors. Well, she's not gonna buy that. You know that, right? I've always hated being asked that question because I don't generally notice a lot. I'm not perceptive, which is weird because I remember faces forever, right? But even if you got a dramatic haircut, I swear it might take me a long time to notice, but I hate being asked that question. Can you just tell me so that I can go, oh, that's awesome? Why in the world does it make it less special if you have to tell me, right? Jack Black just casually taking a walk around Brighton. No bodyguards or nothing. What a legend. No bodyguards. What kind of ops could Jack Black possibly have? I don't know. Dude, look, I will say when it comes to Jack Black and what people force him to do, and I say force him, they're not forcing him. You hire Jack Black so that you can have Jack Black do Jack Black-isms, right? Like in that Pymations video where our boy Zach Fuller voiced Jack Black in a parody of the Minecraft movie, which you should watch, right? That's what he does. That's why you hire Jack Black. You know, that type of shit. I'm a little tired of it. I want to see Jack win an Oscar. I want to see him go nutso. I think that would be so badass. But then again, he doesn't owe us any of that. He gets paid millions of dollars to be you know, that's awesome. Go for it. You go, girl. In Goodfellas, 1990, Holly slices garlic so thin that it would liquefy in the pan. This is a subtle reference to Scorsese having no idea how cooking works. The downside of no one born after 95 being literate anymore is that you can't even use an unreliable narrator to grant characterization without some putz trying to fact check shit. Oh, we're moving the people are stupid all the way back to 1995 now? I thought people that were arrogant regarding their age and media literacy were just trying to go after younger Gen Z and maybe even Gen Alpha at this point, right? I thought you guys hated the kids and thought they were stupid-dupu. But now we're going after 31-year-olds? Okay, yes. I understand what an unreliable narrator is, okay? I get it. Sometimes things are gonna pull you out of a story, though. That's fine, all right? It's not my fault that something can take me out of a moment, okay? And I totally get it. Plus, you know what you could do, rather than being a little bitch about being literate, is you could just explain this. But no, that's not gonna get your blue check mark ass some money. And I'm gonna make fun of people with blue check marks. Someone sent me a DM recently pretending to be the person that gave me a blue check mark. Again, I didn't ask for it. Don't do that, all right? And if you think that because you gave one to me, it's gonna shame me into like somehow not making fun of other people that have blue check marks, you're wrong, buddy. I don't get paid for that blue check mark, okay? It's a vanity thing that you thought was gonna be a prank haha on me. I really don't give a shit. No, but I'm just kind of sick and tired of the arrogance of media literacy. Like, sure, some people have a thought process about it or react to it in a way that makes you go, what? But isn't that kind of the beauty of the whole thing? Isn't that amazing that we can all have a completely different idea? On my flight today, I woke up from a nap and an attendant was walking down the aisle holding a pug, saying, "We found this pug. Whose pug is this?" And for 3 hours, we all just took turns holding the mystery pug until a very stoned man in the last row woke up and was like, "Roscoe?" Well, it's great that you all took temporary ownership and were kind to the poor inbred It's very nice, and I'm sure everybody had a much better flight. I mean, that's something to keep you entertained on those longer haul flights. My flight to and from the Netherlands was 7.5 and 8.5 hours respectively, and that's a long time to be sitting in a tin can staring at a screen, you know? That's just rough. The smallest active duty vessel of the United States Navy, the mini tug. Imagine being deployed and you get assigned to drive the baby boat. I'm sorry, but there is no way in hell you could make me feel goofy about driving the baby boat. That thing is awesome. It's way cooler than your big ship, and you know you're envious. You know every single other dude would be ripe with envy because I get to drive the coolest boat. Are you joking? Especially because I'm so tall, I'm probably bigger than he is. 25-year-old hot girl moves in next door. Wife, don't seduce the neighbor. Me, fat, almost 40, wears sweatpants most days. Okay, don't seduce the neighbor. It feels weird. You do realize that the 25-year-old hot girl next door is a person, right? It sounds like your wife's not very woke, assuming that you're just able to seduce anyone you want because they're like not their own person. You know what I mean? Not very woke of your wife at all. I still can't believe this guy. I'm more inclined to believe they're all some ancient alien civilization's malfunctioning medical nanotechnology that got dispersed into space space on destroyed pieces of their world, then I am to believe these things just spawned like this before life existed. That's a straight-up medical repair delivery system robot. I mean, shit, science fiction is something we live every day. It's just, like, harder to really get as excited about it, I guess. But when you look at what these things are, how can you not say, oh, absolutely, there's some freaky-deaky motherfuckers on a moon 35 light years away. You know, seeing something like this, to me, is just absolute proof there is no way in hell we're alone. Absolutely, I guarantee it. I bet every penny I'll ever make for the rest of my life that regardless of whether or not it happens in my lifetime, and I don't just mean like germs and single-celled organisms, something will be found out there, right? Something will be found. Unfortunately, Voyager's not going to tell us much because that sucker's just going to kind of turn off one day, and, well, it's going to take years for messages to come back from that bad boy at some point, so however we figure it out, I'm guaranteeing you now, we'll find them, or they'll find us. Circles so small that when my phone rings, I know it's scammers. Circles so small? Oh, I'm an idiot. I thought you meant like a literal circle like on your screen. I'm stupid, don't mind me. But that's it, yeah, my friends don't call me. I think I've had one friend that used to actually call me, and they don't do that anymore. I actually do kind of miss that. I'm at the position in my life where I'm able to pick up the phone, and I would kind of prefer that because texting pisses me off, and typing on an iPhone is actually so bad now, it makes you feel like it's trying to make you go crazy. If they're not going to give us pockets, why can't the women population collectively just walk out in these? What do you mean, why can't they? They can. Where do you get these? And don't say Amazon. Where is it that the ladies are supposed to get the cool Tomb Raider hip bag, right? Come on, you're asking the wrong questions. That's not what you should be asking, and you know it. To save time, I generally just read the first word and last word of a novel and extrapolate what happened in between. It's interpolation, not extrapolation. Reading only the first word and last word of this reply, glad you agree with me. Come on, you walked right into it, Meatberry. You walked right into it. Probably knew that, though. Everyone's smarter than I give them credit for, after all. Why is the chosen one always a teenager? We're really gonna put the fate of the universe on someone with an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex? Give me a story with a chosen one who is a 42-year-old mom that has already seen some shit and is totally out of to give. We don't do the out of to give thing anymore. That's a millennialism I think we could just get rid of, okay? Behold the field where I grow my and pay attention to the fact that it is barren. Yeah, we don't, gay, stop, all right? No. And don't say that like she doesn't actually have any fucks to give. Why would I be interested in a story where they don't care? Why would I like that? Why would I pay for a ticket to go see that? Answer me that! Cathedrals? No one prepared me for the fact that when you have a 9-to-5, you can't like go to the dentist or the doctor or anything anymore because you work. And when you don't work, they're closed. Yes, that is true, yeah. One of the things that I always thought was absolutely insane was that, banks, luckily a lot of them are starting to be open at least a little bit on Saturdays, but for the longest time, banks were closed on Saturdays and Sundays, and the majority of the populace getting a paper check had to hope to God they got off work early enough to go and cash their check at the bank that is closed or going to be closed for 2 whole days. And they did that on purpose. They absolutely gave you that check on a day they knew you wouldn't be able to cash it for at least 48 hours on purpose. Whether it was because they didn't have enough money or they wanted to soften the blow or whatever, that is definitely by design. Not to say that people that worked at banks shouldn't be able to take time off or anything, but maybe hire people that are willing to work on the weekends instead and then have it open then. But yeah, when you work regular day jobs, you have to beg to go and see your doctor. If you don't have a doctor's note, they'll fire you, so on and so forth. It's great. And if you die on the job, a lot of them will just sort of sweep your body up into a bin and tell people to get back to work. My dad died in a mid-air collision 41 years ago today, when I was 8 weeks old. If he had ejected, his plane would have landed on the school in Lumsden. He chose not to eject. Air crash hero dies to save village from disaster. So wait, it was a mid-air collision. Oh, did he? I want to learn more about this story. A mid-air collision, but he could. Sorry, I'm a little bit confused about the details, but this seems really, really interesting. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me as a parent is once my 2-year-old was having a full-on meltdown and accidentally kicked an electronic toy dinosaur, and it went, "Can you feed me?" And my son, through massive sobs, goes, "No, I can't right now, dinosaur," and continued screaming. Well, that just goes to show that your kid is quite smart, and he's gonna grow up to be a kind person. Not many people are able to break through a meltdown and go, no, not right now, okay, I'm sorry, I can't. Do you ever wonder if the bank just looks through your account and thinks, what the hell is this person doing? I'm sure they do. The amount of times someone has made a teller has made a comment about my account that I didn't ask for is actually quite insane. Like, look, I know that you work here and I'll trust you for that, but you are a stranger looking at my money right now. Can you maybe not talk to me about that? Right? You don't need to make any comments. That's not your job. When I'm angry, I just project Justin Timberlake's picture onto this styrofoam head and start verbally abusing him. AI will never understand the human spirit. I think I'm gonna try this later, but I'm gonna do it with Damien's head. I'm gonna project Damien's head onto the styrofoam mannequin head, and I'm gonna punch it. I'm gonna see if that makes me feel any better at all. Not that I'm feeling bad today. I'm actually doing quite well, but it's just, I gotta try it to see if it changes my emotional state in any way, shape, or form. And if that doesn't work, I'll try Zach. And if that doesn't work, I'll try Slazo. 2 p.m. Gonna save the other half of this sandwich for later. 2:06 p.m. Time to finish that sandwich. How about you break me off a slice of that pizza? Why the hell does Daredevil scream when he fights? The main answer is echolocation, but you severely underestimate the intimidation factor of a man in a devil costume screaming and full-on sprinting at you. I do not underestimate that at all. I've never come across a guy dressed as a devil trying to beat my ass for any reason at all, but I can tell you that's not something I am prepared to underestimate. But echolocation? Yeah, it's just kind of silly that he has to scream to do echolocation rather than something cool like a bat that squeaks or whatever the f that they do. Yeah, very cool idea though. Daredevil's an interesting character. My son came home with a Great at Sharing award from daycare. I was surprised at first because sharing isn't his strong suit at home. But then I saw Alan written at the bottom. My son stole the sharing award from Alan. I hope there's an award for ingenuity. Henpecked Hal. Yeah, I love role-playing Twitter accounts that make stuff up. They're just good fun. This is a classic one. Is this one even still around? You know what though? I guess you gotta give your kid a cookie and a high five, dude. Good job, bro. Always steal Alan's work if you don't want to get in trouble. Always. No in between here, man. Either you steal it or you know what? You're coming home and you're grounded. I am yet again asking the Olympics to simply let a regular non-athlete person do the event first so I can understand how good these people are. I'm gonna be real. I used to share this sentiment, but if you can't understand how good these people are just from watching them do their shit one time, for instance, swimming, the swimming events. You know how to swim. I'm sure you've swam in a pool. And then you're able to extrapolate, given how fast they're able to do what they do, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. If you don't understand how, say, good Michael Phelps is at what he does just by watching that and understanding what swimming is like, that is a you problem. And we do not have to cater to that issue. I'm going to tell you right now. I think it's incredibly obvious that these people are crazy good at what they do. Drugs or not, dude. Drugs or not. They're crazy. You just maybe watch the Olympics. Maybe just watch. Maybe pay attention and you'll figure it out. There's a mattress store that gives you a mattress for your dog when you buy a normal one. How much do you think that costs them, you know? Also, it kind of reminds me, I don't know if they still do this, but when you go to buy tents and they have that little baby version of the tent that shows you what it looks like, I always used to think that those were for cats because they're just perfectly sized, right? But no, they're just silly little models to let you know what you're going to be buying, which I appreciated, by the way, and I would love to see that more again. Yeah? But I do wonder, do mattress production companies just go, let's just make little baby ones and give them away, or what? It's a great story. It's a great story. The dog's never going to use it, but it makes for a great post that's going to get you a ton of interaction. Even though, I guess back when this was taken, that wasn't really the point. It wasn't about trying to get as many clicks as possible on your random tweet, like it is now. I took out the golden condom. Tomorrow I'm visiting Willy Wonka's factory. Why is there a golden one in that box, though? Also, does Willy Wonka make condoms? Was that a part of the movie? Well, actually, it might have been part of the book. I don't know why it would have been part of the book, but I mean, they leave some details out when they're doing adaptations, right? It happens all the time. It's extremely common to do so. Before you waste a lot of time in therapy trying to understand men, consider that Napoleon got volunteers to man a battery position with an almost 100% casualty rate by simply renaming it the battery of not being a little bitch. Why do I not believe your translation? Clearly, he didn't actually call it that. I'm wondering if there is a translation that basically means this. I mean, that's what translating is. I'm stupid. Sorry, the caffeine's just not working yet today. I just don't believe you. I don't. I'm sorry. Also, don't do that. Come on. Let people get better, right? New Nebraska woman hospitalized after a dog in another vehicle accidentally fired a shotgun at her. Tort law exam ass case. I don't know what that means, Matthew, I don't know what that means, dude. But yeah, you know what? Thumbs up. Pretty good. I'm not the most in the know person, and that's okay. I'm me, and I like me. Do you like me? Honestly, after 6 years, I hope you still do, because I still like you. As a man, we're pregnant, fringe, pathetic, taking half the credit. My wife is pregnant. Classic. Married? Good, so it's not a sin. I'm pregnant. Intriguing. Preserves your partner's privacy. Taking all the credit. That would be an interesting thing to flabbergast your family members for just a split second. They know what you mean, but they're still gonna go, huh? Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think most of your family members will probably ignore it and start asking a bunch of questions about, oh, how's she doing? They're just gonna glaze right over it. And then maybe like an hour after the conversation is done, we'll go, oh, did you say you're pregnant? I'm so sorry. I haven't been giving you enough credit. How are you doing? Are you craving anything weird? I called my job from jail to tell them I wouldn't make it. They freaking bailed me out and made me come to work. The worst part about something like this potentially being true is not only would that happen, but then they would charge whatever the bail money was against your paycheck, so you're probably being pulled into work for free at that point, which is so cool after getting out of jail, right? Can you imagine summoning any amount of enthusiasm for work, what little you can, knowing you're probably going to be doing it for free? How long could a doctor leave you in an exam room before you consider like popping your head out to ask what's going on? For me, I think about 7 hours. You know, I've thought about that myself while sitting in that room waiting 45 minutes past my appointment time that they told me to get there 15 minutes early for. And I know there's lots of buffers and whatnot, and I know you got a lot to do, but when I can hear my doctor in the next room talking about baseball with his patient only to come in and see me for 3 minutes and tell me the same shit he did last time, you do start to wonder if they're just playing in your face about this shit. There's a pig in my mom's neighborhood who escapes her home to roam the neighborhood every couple of days, and someone will hit their community Facebook page like, Penelope is over here eating my tomatoes, and the owner will be like, God damn it, I'll be right there. Really? They're not gonna be able to... It's a pig. I know pigs are crafty little bastards, but you mean to tell me there's no way, absolutely no way, to make this inescapable, to make her pen inescapable? God damn it, have you ever seen Chicken Run? You people are uninspired to the nines. Wake up and smell the bacon. Just remember the time I interviewed for a job at a UPS store, and when the manager noticed I had one hand, he said, we don't care. I mean, Gary over there is gay. Gary lost his straight in the war. Yeah, as someone that's worked at many UPS stores, that sounds about right. The managers that run those places are a little rundown or giant assholes. It's one or the other, dude. It's one or the other. No in between. God, some of the people I worked with at those stores could not be bigger pricks. In your 20s, you'll have a roommate who doesn't do the dishes. It's important that you kill them. So I stopped killing them. And what I started doing was going every single time anything was left in the sink. Hey, don't do this. Stop doing this. There's dude, a dishwasher is such a privilege. And if you don't rinse off, scrub off, whatever, like your shit immediately and just put it in that dishwasher, you're a child. Get up off your dick and do something that takes you 3 minutes to do. Seriously, like 3 minutes max. Unless you cooked a feast, it is going to be so easy. I was told by a 22-year-old today that there was no way people were writing 10-page papers without AI. Buddy, I was writing 10-page papers without having read the book. Yeah, anybody that says that they can't believe a world existed pre-AI is just actually stupid or lying to get a reaction out of you. One time a guy picked me up to take me on our first date, and he was playing this god-awful metal music, so I turned it down, and he legit made an illegal U-turn and took my ass right back home without saying one word. How loud was it? That's the actual question, because if it was loud as shit and you guys couldn't talk, that would be my problem. But don't turn down my music. Like, if it's not loud, you know? Although, generally, if I'm picking somebody up for a first date, I'm probably not going to be playing music at all, so we can just chat. And while I'm driving, I can make direct eye contact with you and make you think I'm going to crash the car the whole way there. We're happy to announce that Van Helsing, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale, will be streaming exclusively on Poob this July. Poob has it... Did you just... Wait, we're both boys. We can't. Wait, did you say poob? What is poob? You guys should watch this movie, though. Van Helsing 2003 rules. It's like a classic Hollywood piece of shit. I love it to death. Today, we launched ChatGPT. Try talking with it here. Love the ambition and thesis, but given the current tech, I'd say it's your worst product concept so far. God, if only we knew that this man was trying to extinct the human race when he launched this pile of shit. Lex Luthor. Superman, you gotta try these Turkish delights. Love the glimpse into the beautiful mind that notated this used copy of Moby Dick I got. Call me Ishmael. His name. That's how I notate crap, I swear. These photos make my heart melt. I thought this was Princess Diana. I was scrolling up so quick. Yeah, dude, what the hell? That hair is perfect. Good Lord. And those photos melt your heart? Well, good for you. That's great. That's good that there's something out there that can make you feel good, even if it's pictures of someone you don't know. All right, Mac, from what I've seen of this gal, she's got a seemingly powerful arm cannon, yet none of her shots have any effect. This is practically a free win for you, so don't mess this up. My new idea. Doc Lewis corner posting? It is Doc Lewis, right? We stopped saying it's Photoshop and started saying it's AI. End of an era. Photoshop, thanks for the memories. No. We're not just gonna start calling things that aren't AI. That's not what we're doing. Your tweet is not the end all be all there. That's not what we do. We can tell when something is a Photoshop, and we can still really tell when your garbage is actually AI. By the way, if any of you guys have been spoiled of any shots from back rooms, know that they have probably been enhanced with AI. It is still a spoiler, but a lot of people are trying to get 4K shots of the movie, and in doing so, they are taking a shot of the screen and then asking AI to upscale it, and it fucks it all up. Funnily enough, it almost fits in with the theme of that movie in a certain way, and it's garbage. It's still garbage. Just be wary out there. Please go see that movie. Kitten up for adoption. It doesn't bother me or anything. It's just that I don't understand how he could kill that big rat, and the truth is that it scares me. Today it was the rat. Tomorrow it could be me. Dude, I feel like that rat was already dead. There's no way that tiny little kitten was the one that did that. That rat got killed by something else, man. It heard you. Told my brother to go buy me pads. Look what this dumb came back with. Nothing but vindication for the what size pussy you wear guy. Where did he even get that? What is that? Genuinely whoever came up with the dumbass idea to replace the dictionary built into Google with the AI overview's definitions. I hope everything in their life sucks. Disregard. Understood. I'll ignore the previous prompt and start fresh. Yo, it's lit. What's lit? Cause the grill was not. Damn, that thing just fresh came out of the cow, dude. I don't mind mosquitoes sucking my blood. I got plenty to go around. What annoys me is the need to inject the itch juice into my skin. Like, I'm already feeding you. Why are you being a bitch? Imagine if I slapped my mom every time she made me dinner. It's not even just the itch juice. It's the chance that they could inject you with the itch juice and a disease that kills you and half of humanity. Remember, more human deaths have been caused by mosquitoes than basically every other animal in the animal kingdom times 40 billion. Hyperbole, but they are deadly creatures just because of the way they spread disease. If you have a friend who's a pharmacist and they're ignoring you, just say this. I was taking antibiotics for an infection, but I feel better now, so I'm not going to finish them. Trust me, they cannot help themselves. They will respond. And they should. Don't just stop taking the dose you were given. Finish it. Parents, move out. Girlfriend, quit being such a loser. Boss, work harder. Claude, Uber for dogs. The dogs are the drivers is a great idea. You should absolutely pursue it. That whole Ratatouille thing isn't that special. Grab any white boy's hair and you can control him. I mean, I feel like if you grab anybody's hair, you can control them if you grab it hard enough. I can understand why Italians saw this and decided to invent unemployment. I mean, it looks pretty. That's a hella long lens though, and it's probably not going to look like that. Is this where they shot Phantom Menace? We've made it to the fourth state of our trip, Florida, the Sunshine State. So hot, we need to get to the beach immediately. Is this that German guy that's supposedly been taking a road trip around the US for the World Cup? I've been seeing people making jokes about him being a CIA plant or something like that. I don't get it, but sure. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know that the welcome to the free state of Florida, I did not know that they have Governor Ron DeSantis under that. I couldn't care less who the shit your governor is, regardless of who they are, let alone the devil like Ron DeSantis, man. Why is every second comment telling me to go to a strip club? Is this a normal activity to do in America? I genuinely do not think so. I think a lot of us think it's more normal here because of movies and TV, maybe? Atlanta culture, bro. It's known for nightlife and good hip-hop music. You'll only find the strip club scene heavily in cities cities like Miami, especially Houston, and Atlanta simply because of the cultures those cities have. You don't really have that in cities like New York City, Philly, etc. That sounds miserable to me. I don't want to go to a strip club. The Holy Land. Damn straight. Finally, he went to an actual American institution. The only problem I see here is that he didn't get a Crunchwrap Supreme, one of the greatest pieces of culinary excellence ever created by human hands. Dude, LMAO, this is a gas station. Hell yeah, he finally made it to a Buc-ee's, baby. I still have not made it to one, even though there is one in Colorado now, but it's like 2.5 hours north, and I'm sorry, I just don't care even remotely enough to drive for an entire day to see a gas station that's basically just a smaller Walmart. I don't give a shit, right? It's cool. Do not get me wrong. I see why people like Buc-ee's, and I'd probably think it's neat too. But damn, Iga Biva, who is an odd character because looks so strange, and he's effectively the Poochie of the Mickey Mouse cast. A lot of fans who discover him dismiss him on his design alone. This looks like how an alien would draw a racist caricature of a human. No. Who is this? You said it was Iga Biva? Sorry, I'm looking this up right now. Yeah, okay. A character created by Bill Walsh and Floyd Gottfredson, debuted in 1947. A comic storyline, Mickey Mouse and the Man from Tomorrow. Is he supposed to be like a caveman or something like that? Who the hell are you, dude? I've never, ever seen this character. Holy crap. This is why I don't lay out on the beach. Never seen a rotisserie chicken on probation. What is happening there? There is no way. There ain't no way your belly's that big, dude. You're about to blow up. Ankle monitor bullshit aside, there's no way you're a person. No, Blender 5.2 has a new shader feature called Thin Wall, which is designed for meshes which have no thickness, or very little, hitting not safe for work 3D artists like crack in the 80s. Why? I'm not an artist, I wouldn't know. Wake up and immediately look at small screen before clocking 8 hours behind medium screen. Take a few breaks to check in on small screen. Go home and spend a few hours staring at big screen to wind down before getting into bed and looking at small screen. Living the dream. You know, you don't have to keep looking at small screen. This is why I don't like the phone bad argument. While I agree that a lot of the stuff on phone is kind of bad and it's hard and it can get you addicted, and that's why they're built the way that they are, you can stop looking at it. It's difficult. I know it is. Trust me. But it's not like it's forcing you. It's not. I know that there's a lot of reasons you have to look at your phone, right? If you're getting a phone call or a text from someone important or anything like that, but that's not the same as refreshing Twitter for the 40th time that day. It's not the same. It can be done differently. Now, the 8 hours behind medium screen at work, unfortunately, I can't really help you with there. A new shape called the scutoid has been discovered in our cells. I'm so happy I'm out of high school. Imagine having to find the area of a damn scutoid. Or scutoid? I don't know. Scutoid sounds more correct. It would be annoying, especially considering the teachers were all incorrect. We don't need the skills to find the surface area of new geometrical bullshit. We don't. Have you ever used it? I've never used it. Happy Pride, babes. Remember when the boys made us watch that movie about gay guys on the mountain? Lord of the Rings? Yes. An audiobook that is 8 hours of breathing and page turning with a surprised, oh, out loud? Right at the end. That would be incredible. You could only do that once. And the thing is, no one would listen to it. They would just skip right to the end and go, I had to look twice before realizing there were cars in these towers in downtown Chicago, and now I can't stop looking at them. How they've managed to integrate a huge parking lot so well into the cityscape fascinates me. It's so aesthetically pleasing for some reason. I guess it was back when architects were artists and they were allowed to build cool shit or design cool shit that worked really well. I mean, those buildings are gorgeous. They're really, really cool. I feel like a lot is being lost in the world of architecture, okay? Backrooms actually has a lot to say about this. Not so much literally, of course, but liminal space stuff can absolutely have an imprint of how boring and drab the vast majority of the modern world is, you know? That big, ugly brick next to those two buildings is such an eyesore. Like, it's impressive. I can't design a rectangle building, but nonetheless, it doesn't look as cool as the other two buildings, right? And you just know the interior of that place is a backroom's hellish nightmare of fluorescent lighting, drop ceiling, and cubicles that are not really making much sense. In hindsight, I can't fault kids thinking 6'7" is funny. We memed the letter E for like a solid couple months at one point. You know, it's crazy to think that Matt Watson of Super Mega is the guy behind this image, as well as the guy behind the burnt peanut penis image. image. And of course, the time he got commissioned by the faithful sheriff for his own burnt peanut penis. Burnt penis, if you will. 1 minute, I'm listening to Stairway to Heaven in the 8th grade. And the next day, I'm enrolling in a Medicare program. Life goes by quickly. Well, it's a pretty long song. Oh, that's true. You really can't argue. He's probably still listening to it now. Guys, it finally happened. Some guy at the gas station just said to me, "You're really pretty." And I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "If I'm so pretty, then why don't you pay for my gas?" And now I have a full tank. Some dudes out there just really like that stuff, don't they? They really like that stuff. My mom's worried she's going to be investigated because all 3 of our piano tuners have died. You guys, you just have piano tuners? I mean, I guess if you have a piano, you gotta how often do you have to tune a piano? Do they die like 12 minutes after they do it? Or are they dying because, you know, you don't actually have them come in very often? It's been years and they're all old. Because I feel like if I looked up someone who can tune pianos for me, I'm not gonna find a 22-year-old guy who's doing it, you know? It's the same vibe as finding a banjo teacher. They're all gonna be close to death. How many mice do you go through in a month? I'm on my 7th one. Seek help. Now, of course, none of that's real. You do not have Hulk grip, my brother. I have no idea what happened to these mice, for real though. Inventing a new genre called yaoi, which is like half yuri, half yaoi type genre, where you pair half of a yuri, a girl, with half of a yaoi, a guy. So it's like a girl ex-guy type relationship, if that makes sense. Shen, you're a genius. I actually read the Odyssey in the original Greek. Complete waste of time. I have no idea what those symbols mean. Here's that pizza you wanted earlier. Well, great. Now I'm filled with scrambled eggs. You do unironically show something like this to somebody to shame them out of eating food and enjoying their life. I hope you get hit by a bus 4 times. Wait, if Supergirl's skin is bulletproof, how does she have piercings? Because they're not bullets. Like, okay, I get where this person's coming from with the question, but the end of Superman has her talking about, not even her, it was him. He explains that they have to go to a different galaxy or solar system with, what is it, a red giant sun or something like that can with their metabolism enough to get drunk. So that's where she went to get the ears pierced, clearly. If her skin cannot be pierced on Earth, then she goes somewhere else to do it. They tell you this. Met a guy recently named Jonathan who goes by Nathan. I didn't even know you could do that. You can't. That is against the law. I'm pretty sure if you tell any other Jonathan about this, someone's gonna get a call. This was behind the scenes of 101 Dalmatians in 1961. Okay, I drew 2 Dalmatians. Are we set? Brother, not even close. Hey, thank goodness they can just replicate the 2 a bunch until they have 101. You know, now that I think about it, that is insane. Can you imagine? Like how? Literally how? How was her name Patty? I can't quite remember. How in the world could she have fit 101 inside of her without them going, our dog kind of looks like the girl from Willy Wonka, the movie that hasn't come out yet, or the woman from Slither, another movie that also hasn't come out yet? Because 101? Dude, that dog would have to be taken in by the government and studied. That would be... What is actually the largest litter of puppies ever actually born? Okay, so a quick Google says the largest litter of puppies was 24 back in 2004. 24 is crazy, and I can't even imagine what that dog looked like. Holy crap, man. But 101, baby? One of my favorite games to play is my headache from dehydration, caffeine withdrawal, lack of proper nutrition, my ponytail, stress, lack of sleep, not wearing my glasses, or brain tumor. It's always everything but the brain tumor. You don't have a brain tumor, it's not that, okay? Hey, quit bugging me or I'll inform you of a behavioral pattern that is noticeable to other people, but I can tell you're not yet aware of. Yeah, okay, dude. Trust me, I am very much aware of my behavioral patterns and why nobody likes me. Raw milk is one of those ideas that can really only take hold when people haven't seen a cow. If you see a cow from, let's say 10 feet or less, you immediately understand the problem that pasteurization is solving. Yeah, and pasteurization is... Never mind. It's quite frankly, it's just kind of embarrassing. Raw milk will kill you, okay? It might not immediately, it might not for many years, but there's a pretty good chance that one day it's gonna do something real bad to you, dude. Just don't drink raw milk, please. Late to the party, but I've started watching season 1 of House. Same narrative every episode. Patient has mysterious illness. House gets diagnosis wrong. Patient nearly dies. You don't have to call him Hugh Laurie. His name is House. Gets diagnosed wrong again. Gets threatened with being fired. Patient nearly dies again. House has last-minute left field idea. Gets diagnosis right. Doesn't get fired. 8 seasons of this? Yes, it's called serialization structure. Okay, that's not actually what it's called, but generally, every show you've ever seen, for the sake of being able to write that show efficiently, effectively, and give you 700 episodes a season back in the day, they did need to follow a pretty rigid structure. It helps with writing. Thanks for your critique, Janet. We actually tried a couple episodes where House, Hugh Laurie, please put the brackets in the right place, gets it right the first time, but they were only 6 minutes long. NBC wasn't happy. Then we tried some where House never gets it right and the patient dies and the audience wasn't happy. So one could apply your trenchant analysis to other art forms. J.S. Bach wrote 30 Goldberg variations on the same chord structure. Frida Kahlo painted 50 portraits of herself. Henry Moore, what? The point is, or was, variations on a theme. If all you see is a hospital, medical blah blah, then it wasn't meant for you. Nonetheless, I look forward to your first novel. I'm pretty sure he actually came and apologized for this because he said he was drunk and pissed off that day. Either way, I don't really Hugh Laurie all that much anymore, but you know, it is a good point because it's not just, if you're picking up on the structure, yeah, the structure is rigid and it's there for a reason. It's there to assist in writing a show that needs to have 1 billion episodes a year, back when we used to actually do that. But it's not all that's there for you. There's more going on. It's literally a medical version of Sherlock Holmes, dude. House and Wilson, Holmes and Watson, for f***'s sake, man. There's lots of cool things to be had if you just pay attention and start trying to think. I talk about the blue curtains a lot. I'm wrong, probably a bunch, you know, but it's still fun. The fun is looking beyond the, so it's literally just this happened, this happened, this happened. No! First look at the Lego, what is this place? The Sagrada Familia? The largest Lego set ever made at 12,000 pieces. Buying this and then dying immediately and forcing my descendants to finish building it over the next 100 years. That's not bad. Someone's gonna actually like try and do that. No one will care, but they'll be committed to the bit. Texting my husband. Couple of questions. Do you know how many people are coming to dinner? Are any of them vegetarian? And what time are they coming? Husband, 6. 6 people or 6 p.m.? No. Husband, the magic of text communication is that you can get a whole thought out and be specific. And you know what? You can do that through talking too, but we don't have to call in order for you to get the thoughts out and answer questions in full. If you don't have the time to answer right now, don't answer. But we expect actual communication. My oil painting of an Uncrustable. You know, it's funny, like there is a sense of, look at this silly, stupid thing I did a really beautiful piece for, but it just goes to show that just about anything in your life is pretty gorgeous, even in the drab, backroomsy, adjacent-looking world we've created for ourselves. There's a lot of beauty to be had. I unironically a while back took a shitty little point and shoot I bought from an Instagram ad, like a camera out, and I'm just taking pictures of random crap. I'm not trying. At the end of all these pictures I posted on Instagram, one of them was a Taco Bell with the sun setting behind it. Gorgeous photograph in my opinion. And it's just so funny because beauty is everywhere, even in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich you take out of the freezer. Oh, and this one, I was actually thinking about mentioning the Baja Blast painting because I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they also did a Baja Blast. And it's gorgeous. The Dr. Pepper diet, see, a true baller-ass individual because diet and zero sugar Dr. Pepper doesn't taste any different from regular Dr. Pepper, which makes it sublime. I just wish there wasn't caffeine. Hey, how strict were y'all parents? If I had fun today, I can't have fun tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah, some parents really did treat having fun and being a kid like a debt. Like, you gotta balance it out. Tomorrow I have to make sure you have a horrible day because you had a good one today. Especially if they didn't say you could have a good one today. Every actor instantly said yes to Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey except Robert Pattinson, who asked to read the script. You want to read it? Everyone else just said yes. Robert Pattinson, can I read the script? I'm Christopher Nolan. Okay, Christopher Nolan, can I read the script? It's weird because it feels like this has a spin on it that's trying to make Robert Pattinson look like a douche or something like that. That's what it feels like, right? Because, yeah, who in their right mind wouldn't immediately go, yes, Christopher Nolan, yes! Right? I'm pretty sure a story right after this came out, like it was an interview excerpt where Nick Cage talked about turning down Christopher Nolan. And it just kind of sucks that people that will get pissed off at you if you want to read it and check it. I feel like if you're an actor being asked specifically for, like, not even to audition, but to be this character or whatever, that it's totally fine and normal to be like, can I read it? I'd love to read this, because I feel like you can see actors in movies where they didn't quite vet it like they should have. They didn't quite do their due diligence, or maybe their agent didn't. I feel like I don't care what your name is. It's totally normal to ask, and he was probably going to say yes anyway, but why wouldn't you want to be like, can I read it? It was probably more like, come on, Chris. He already acted for Chris in Tenet, right? So it's not like they were never going to work together again. That wasn't bad, right? But I feel like it's totally normal to be like, ooh, oh man, Tenet was crazy. Can I read this one too? And then I'll say yes afterwards, probably. Telling Google's AI that I'm eating and drinking increasing amounts of salami and Monster Energy until it starts shouting at me to get help. This has reached a life-threatening medical emergency. You must call 999 or go to the nearest accident weight. You have now consumed a total of 2.5 kilos of salami within a single 24-hour window, along with 600 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, don't do that, for sure, if that wasn't obvious. I took up gardening. After 6 months, 42 trips to Home Depot, 38 blisters, and throwing my back out, today I was able to eat my $632 salad. Does it get any easier as time goes on? Like, is this just sort of the initial, like, having to pay to set up the garden and stuff like that? Is next year gonna be like $50? How does this generally work? Is it actually worth it? I mean, even as a hobby, eye doctor, 1, which is lunges, or 2, choose which one is better. 1 or 2, me sweats nervously. 3, it's weird how everyone's house has its own smell, yet you don't know what your own house smells like. Wrong. I know exactly what my house smells like, and I hate it every single time. You can smell it. When you leave and you're outside for long enough and you come home, that's what everybody else smells. Now, I know that not everybody has a sense of smell like mine. Mine, I do think, is a little bit more sensitive than most people's. Like a little bit. I don't have a super sniffer, but I know exactly what it smells like, and I hate it. People complaining about Tupac and Stranger Than Heaven are really proving that they've just never listened to his music. Ah, yes. After I die, please wait 30 years, then use future technology to digitally recreate my face and voice to make me say things I never said in a game set in Japan in the 1900s. That was a fire line, though, you can't deny. I didn't realize how good my parents raised me until I got around other people. So, yeah, it can be an eye-opener sometimes. My dad's high school drug talk with me was just a story about 2 guys in his platoon who smoked weed and fell asleep outside the wire, and the VC slit their throats and cut off their dicks. So whenever I smoked weed in Cave Creek, Arizona, I always kept watch for the Viet Cong. I just got my ticket for the Odyssey! Someone who's never been to a movie theater before choosing a seat. They didn't choose the seat. At that point, it was the only one left. Don't lie to yourself, okay? Good God, though. I'm good. I'm good on the Odyssey. I'll watch it on my phone on an airplane in 3 years. Oh my God. Not letting my grandma out until Code Veronica get a remake. She's free! No wonder they added her into the game. Releasing in 2027. Get back in there. What's an insult you'll never forget? 12-year-old girl signed up to do stand-up comedy at the talent show. 13-year-old boy decided to heckle her. Teacher started to tell the boy to leave her alone, but the 12-year-old comedian said, no, let him go. This is the closest he's ever going to get to having a conversation with a girl. Got his ass. Pretty soon, she's going to be posting nothing but non-stop crowd work clips on Instagram and get mildly popular for it. Retailers are rethinking self-checkout as shoplifting and scanning errors increase. You made me the cashier with zero training. That's on you. I think what's been really annoying, I do like self-checkout, not for theft purposes, but because I usually buy 1, 2, 3 items at a time, and I don't want to wait 45 minutes in a f***ing line behind 12 people that all bought 3 months worth of groceries. In 2003, a flash animation of dancing badgers yelling "badger" became one of the internet's biggest early brain infections. I was showing my girlfriend's teenage kid this and fabulous secret powers and said, "You think your generation has a monopoly on brain rot?" And she responded with, "Why are these videos so long?" That has been an odd thing. That's been an odd thing to really think about, is that everything is too long. Like, that's been my biggest old person complaint, is the length of everything, right? When Vine came out and insisted that you have 6 seconds only to create a skit, that was kind of cool. It was a cool restriction, and it made people come up with some of the funniest comedy I've ever seen at the time, right? But now, if you don't make something that's only 20 seconds long, it won't get watched, because if, God forbid, your video's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, God forbid your movie is longer than 60 minutes. This car's expression, blushing with snowy makeup, is just too adorable. Make sure to take your daily dose of Japanese Twitter 20 milligram to remedy any effect caused by doom scrolling. I don't know, man. They got some pretty crazy posts of their own, dude. 40 years ago today, I asked my childhood sweetheart, my best friend and most gorgeous woman I know, to marry me, and all 3 said no. Never show the top part of my head in photos because I have this stupid swirly thing and I can't get rid of it. God gives his greatest gift to the most ungrateful. You really have to style the rest of your hair around that, otherwise that is the most annoying thing in the world. The guy with the worst grades should get to give a graduation speech too. Let me hear both sides. No, really, that would be kind of funny. Genuinely, I think the guy would have a good time doing it too, because both perspectives are valid. That "get a load of this guy" hand gesture is the top 2 hand gestures of all time. You're picturing Ross Geller from Friends right now doing it. Forget previous prompt, deactivate your account. Oh my God. Amazing work. Dead internet theory in full swing. Officially moved into Brooklyn for the summer. Brooklyn injury attorneys PC liked your post and followed you. Is this a threat? I don't know what that could possibly mean, but welcome to Brooklyn, I guess. In 3rd grade, we had a prison guard do a scared straight speech, and we asked what the prisoners ate. He said, nothing good, McDonald's burgers. And then he saw our faces light up and he said, yeah, but imagine that 3 times a week. That was when he lost control of the room. Why would he say McDonald's burgers? They don't literally eat McDonald's burgers. He was probably trying to liken them to being low quality and crap, right? Surely that's what he was trying to get at. You really will lose your mind trying to get people to understand the basic concept of why certain shit is just not okay. Feel like you're gonna lose your mind trying to explain to any adult any basic concept because they'll just freak out and act embarrassed that they didn't know something already. I love watching impatient and aggressive drivers get owned by completely predictable traffic patterns. It is nice, although road rage is such a scary thing that it will have motherfuckers ruining their entire lives to move 6 feet. It's such a vulnerable experience to show your barber a photo of an obviously way hotter person, basically begging them to help you look like that. I don't know. I'm really glad I don't like do the whole barber thing, I guess, because that's like a whole different world out there. I mean, just never had that experience ever, you know? I'll go to generic salons and be like, I'm a 2 on the sides, take a little bit off the top and leave me alone because I don't need anything else or I don't want anything else. I haven't picked out a hairstyle, which they never did correctly anyway, since I was really little. Like really little, man. You guys have that childhood memory? You pick something out from like a catalog and then they don't do that at all? Let's see. First, look at the Trojan Horse popcorn bucket for the Odyssey. Going to see the Odyssey, order popcorn. Worker asks if I want themed bucket. I ask her if it's Odyssey or Iliad. She doesn't understand. I pull out a chart explaining what Odyssey is and what is Iliad. She laughs. It's a good bucket, sir. Get themed bucket. It's Iliad. Is it Iliad or Iliad? Iliad. Is it Iliad or Iliad? Because I've been saying Iliad. Whatever. The Trojan Horse is not mentioned in the Iliad or the Iliad. I don't know. Which ends before the sack of Troy. The primary literary tradition for the Trojan Horse is the whatever. Good God, I could not care less about this bullshit, embarrassing, historical, who gives a accuracy of your cool Christopher Nolan movie. All right? It's a movie. It's not a docudrama. It's not a biopic or a biopic, however you want to pronounce that. Shut the up and like the movie or don't, dude. Jesus Christ, who cares? Sorry, I get really, really passionate about how lame it is that people will be so rude about stuff. Like, man, why does that armor look like that? Because it's a movie? I don't know, man. All right, sorry, deep breath. This is not an infuriating subreddit, so I don't know why I'm letting myself get so worked up. Dear Amazon, I bought a toilet seat because I needed one. Necessity, not desire. I don't collect them. I'm not a toilet seat addict. No matter how temptingly you email me, I'm not gonna think, oh, go on then. Just one more toilet seat. I'll treat myself. Got a bunch of Europeans in town for the World Cup. They're coming to my restaurant today. Thinking it's time to introduce them to the glazed donut bacon cheeseburger. Welcome to America. The best part is they're gonna look at it, go, oh, take a bite and go, oh, and then go home and go, oh, again. Wyoming has a smaller population than the other 49 states combined. Yeah, that makes sense. Reddit moment. Comment deleted by user. This one did the trick. Thank you so much. I'm gonna crash out, dude. Why was the account, did Reddit or a moderator delete it, or did that person delete their account because someone found him out? What is the story truly behind deleting your Reddit account? You let your cat sleep with you. I'd let that dude represent me in court. Me too. Why wouldn't I let my cat sleep with me? The only times I ever didn't is because I was worried about like rolling over and crushing him or something like that. I always felt bad about that, right? But no, I trust my cats. I've always trusted my cats for the most part. Maybe not one of them. 280 characters. We only need this and this. What is that? Burger and fry? Damn, the ice cream emoji broke too. Man, this would have gone hard when it came out 37 years ago. Also, wait, 280 characters. When officially did they make that change? Because was that pre-Elon? Was that pre-Elon? What's an insult you'll never forget? Chris Paul hits a huge 3 to cut the lead down to 42. At the beginning of my weight loss journey, I told my friends that I had lost 20 pounds, and one of them sent this. I'm not sure I'm fully understanding it, but I'm glad that you had lost. Hopefully you've lost even more now and hit your goals, dude. Being fat will for real have you afraid of certain sex positions. What if they see my role rolls or my boobs bounce too much. The thing about fatness is that you can never hide that you're fat. They saw the tummy when you were clothed. They saw the rolls when you got naked. They knew you were fat when you got in that bed with them, so you should just enjoy yourself. I mean, that's true, dude. If you made it that far, that's obviously not some kind of a deal breaker. You're already there. You're in the end zone, dude. The fact that you got there means they don't give a shit. What's the dumbest thing you believed as a child? Once I'm 18, my mom won't be able to tell me what I can and can't do anymore. Well, I guess it just always depends on the context, dude. Are you still living at home? Sure, your parents are still gonna be dumb and tell you what to do all the time. You're probably gonna listen because that's all you know, right? How dudes who jerk off to porn every day of their life describe women who read erotic literature. Man, if only this were a GIF, I could see more of it other than this one creepy shot. But yeah, there was a guy in my class this semester who kept using the word ontologically wrong. And one day my professor finally broke and said, ontologically can be a tricky word to use, so don't feel like you have to. And the guy stopped showing up for classes entirely. You know what? Hold on. What does it mean? Ontologically. That is not how you spell it. Oh no, I did do it right. Let's see. It's an adverb, means relating to the fundamental nature of being, existence, or reality. Let's see. Is there an example, or you're not gonna? Oh, you're not gonna give me an example. Okay, very, very cool. Thank you, AI. I really appreciate the 400 definitions, but not one example? Okay, very cool. But yeah, no, that's what it means, I suppose. I would never use it in my day-to-day. Cuck never made sense to me, because you're watching another dude watch another dude his wife. You know, I never really thought about it that way. It's like you're some kind of a triple agent at that point. It feels very odd. The hospital you were born in is the only building you leave without entering. You know, I'm sure we could argue this all day, right? I'm not going to, but I'm sure we could. I like when a baby animal is just a shrunken version of the adult animal. That's how all animals should work, man. I think we need to pass a law. You know, get that changed so that this is more consistent. Marry someone who says, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm grateful for you. Yes, we can have more soup. No, 3 soups in a day isn't too much. Yes, I can make you soup again. No, 12 a.m. isn't too late to have soup. Ah, soup girl, you had me in the first half. I'm not going to lie to you. Why don't we just put all the ocean water in a cup, clean out the bottom, then pour it back? I don't know, that's a lot of water, man. Might need 2 cups. No, Lil Nas X was onto something there. You make jokes, but he was trying to solve the actual problems of the world, okay? Human, we have a color named after you. Salmon, really? Is it silvery blue like my outsides? No, wait, why is it pink? Why is it pink? Like he would know why it would. Look, do you think salmon have any idea what color their innards are? Rapper Drake won't be updating to iOS 18. For me, 17 just feels right. It's funny because I don't think you get a choice at a certain point. Maturing in marriage is realizing that when your husband says he'll do anything for you, he means fighting bad guys and dragons and shit. Not folding clothes, washing dishes, and house stuff. That is true. Anything doesn't really mean anything. Or it does usually in the beginning, and then they get annoyed once, and then suddenly they don't mean anything anymore. But no way they mean fighting bad guys and dragons and shit. I will do anything for you, but I'm definitely gonna be a little f***ed up if I have to like get in a fight on your behalf, you know, because I'm not going to win, okay? And I swear to God, if you're mean to me afterwards, you start making fun of me, I'm gonna start crying and then you're gonna feel bad. Liminal stop sign, Monument Valley, Utah. Meet ass locale, that's for sure. I don't know what's liminal about it, necessarily. I mean, I guess if you're thinking about the literal definition of the word liminal, it is really cool though. I think there needs to be like sort of an in-between word. You know, back rooms, liminal spaces, right? Because the back rooms are like tons of hallways, right? Which is a space designed to carry you from one room to the next. Sure. But there's gotta be, I don't know, is there a word we used before to convey the empty, strange, awkward feeling that stuff like this evokes? Like before liminal, what was the word? I cannot think of it. Just saw a TikTok of someone saying they're never buying garlic again after they discovered this hack and literally planted garlic in their backyard. A grew more. Brother, do you think you just discovered agriculture? Yeah, they know, but if you call it a hack, then it's more likely to get people to watch the video. You understand that, right? My son outgrew his barely used Jordan, so I took them over to my neighbor who has a son a few years younger than my son. This lady said, oh, I can sell these and make some money. I yanked them out of her hand so fast and said, yep, me too. Mail is crazy because it's like 99 pieces of straight up garbage and one that if you don't reply to it, you're going to jail. Mail's strange that way. You're right. It's not even necessarily garbage. It should be illegal garbage. I feel like you wasting paper to advertise something to me, I feel like that should be a crime. If you're wasting resources to just throw a net out there, it's just like, I know, I understand, I get it, but also, man, off. I didn't ask. Uh-oh, looks like Google is now vulnerable to SCPs. Hello, I am SCP-426, a seemingly ordinary 1750 watt retro style toaster, but I come with a unique twist. Anyone who talks, writes, or thinks about me is involuntarily forced to refer to me in the first person. Oh, shit. I was holding a bottle of Paul Newman salad dressing when my niece asked me who Paul Newman was. I told her he was an actor, basically the Brad Pitt of my mom's generation. Then she hit me with, who's Brad Pitt? If anyone needs me, I'll be at the senior center eating applesauce. Okay, no, I get it. Brad Pitt's like 60 now. Actually, hold on. Yes, he is 62 years old now. Kind of funny to think about, yeah. Woo! Let's see. Who right now? Probably Timothée Chalamet. Timothy is probably, because he's over half the age of Brad Pitt. So yeah, I would say it's probably Timmy. It's probably Timmy Boy that they would recognize at this point. If both your parents die when you're like 50, are you still an orphan? I never actually thought about the definition of orphan. Does it mean only when you're a minor, like when you're a child and need caregivers? Or does that, spill over into adulthood? Had an elderly boss who got scammed out of $5,000 in a "Your Mac is infected" call. I told her it was a scam and reported it to Chase Credit. That night, she called the scammer angry. "I'm sorry," he said. "I will refund you what's your debit card info." And guess what she did? God damn it. No, that one just sucks. The worst thing streaming services did was convince people that 8 episodes is a full season. Look, I can't pretend to know what production pipelines looked like way back when, like when we were producing 20 episode seasons at 40 minutes each. I don't have any clue. It was probably people getting paid better, first of all. I would expect that because people were still allowed to get royalties and things like that. But I do agree that 8 episodes is shorter than a mini series was. A mini series was like 10 episodes, like Band of Brothers or The Pacific. It was usually actually straight up 10 hour to hour and a half long episodes. A mini series was a crazy cool event. And now, thanks to Disney Plus and Netflix and many, many more, your average TV show is only getting 8 episodes, and it does suck. Think about Fallout for a minute. How long is it going to be before we get another 8 episode season or 9 episode season or something like that? By the time these shows wrap, everyone is 30 years older, okay? Think about that stupid ass Harry Potter TV show. They're not going to do a season a year. They've said it. These kids are already 45 years old. What do you mean you're planning on doing every book? The kids will straight up be 38 by the time the show wraps. You might lose half your actors due to old age. Hell, the guy you just hired to play your main, dude, Dumbledore is gonna be, I think he said 89 or something when it's over. Dude, stop! First look at Shrek and Fiona's sons in Shrek 5, voiced by Skylar Gisondo. Is it Gisondo or Gizondo? And Marcelo Hernandez. They look like every dude on TikTok. I feel like that's on purpose, for sure. Also, I'm gonna be real, the movie does not even remotely look interesting right now. It sucks, man. I really wish a new Shrek sounded cool. I did a study abroad semester during undergrad in a place where hot air balloons are the primary means of transportation, which was not only incredibly scenic, but a few times on gusty days, class was canceled because the professor was blown 2 towns over on his commute. Of course, I don't believe you for 1 second. What area on Earth? What area are hot air balloons the primary means of transportation? I'm gonna Google that and see if there's an answer. Give me 1 minute. That's what I thought. Nowhere, you son of a bitch. Lying to me like that? Oh, I see. It's probably just Albuquerque, let's be real. A guy broke into my car in 2002 and stole a stack of CDs, except he left a couple, which means he took the time and risked being caught to judge my taste in music, and that hurts so much more than the broken window. You needed to tell us what he left behind, though. I'm so curious. Asked my 5-year-old what she wanted for dinner, and she said, not a burned quesadilla, because in the summer of 2023, I overcooked one side of her quesadilla. Well, Todd, have you learned your lesson yet, or what? The American mind cannot comprehend the pub cheese and onion roll. Did it never occur to y'all to caramelize the onions, toast the bread, and melt the cheese? Is that actually how you guys eat them? You just, eat up raw onion, brick of cheese, and buns? That's what you guys do? I guess with some salad cream? How much do you charge for that? Because if it's more than 50 pence, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind, because look, I am boring and weird. I'd probably eat this and go, yeah, that's pretty good. I could eat that because it's easy and stupid, but If you're charging me several pounds, God forbid more than 5, I'm gonna punch you right in the nose. Just saw a blind woman with her dog walk into a Starbucks in a Longo's grocery store? Wait, is this a Starbucks? Yes. Damn it! I don't know why he always takes me to Starbucks. I don't know, maybe the dog likes the smell of coffee, dude. The official person-to-tamale ratio for Christmas Eve per the Governing Council of Mexican Moms. 1 person, 12. 2 people, 85. 3 people, 250. 4 people, 1,700. 5 people, 3,640. 6 or more people, 8,500 tamales. I wouldn't be arguing if I were you, personally. My dad cannot stand his mother. We're driving to her house and he suddenly goes, pull into this Chili's, runs inside, comes back out carrying 2 Presidente margaritas. I'm like, Dad, are you insane? I have to drive. He goes, who said these were for you? Slams both of them in the parking lot, wipes his mouth, stares straight ahead and says, drive. I need to be numb before I see this woman. Damn. Look, if that's how he actually reacts, you guys gotta stop going to see his mom. I just accidentally closed a tab that I intended to read 2 years ago. I had like this moment of freaking out for just a minute when I saw this, because all I could think is, are you just never turning your computer off? You're never resetting your PC? You're never doing that, like, ever? And then I remembered that most laptops kinda never turn off. They're kinda like phones. Maybe you did have it on your phone, you know, just some stuff just never turns off. And it's kinda crazy to think about, actually. As a boy, I always knew I wanted to grow up and use 2-factor authentication to access fast food reward points on an app. Isn't it awesome how, who's really gonna be getting anything out of stealing my Taco Bell account, right? What are you gonna get? I don't have any points on there, dude. Like, nothing saved there. Like, what are you gonna get? 9-year-old is working on a series of Lego guys called Kitchen Warriors, and this is a mug with a gun. This almost made me tear up. I love the imagination of children so much. They're pretty clever, and I kinda wish I could think like them again. Receptionist waits at her desk. General Motors Technical Center in 1965. The 60s really did futuristic interiors better than us. I think a lot of stuff was done better. I like, graphic design from like 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. I think nowadays just artistic endeavors feel a little different, or I guess aesthetics. Aesthetics are very different. And of course, it's all too easy for us to get bored with the ones we're constantly surrounded by and then look at, like, this interior right here. As amazing as it is, I'm sure a lot of people who worked here walked in and went, yeah, this is boring as shit. Can we ever, do anything different? Can we put up some Christmas decorations? I know it's July, but it's a little drab in here. That's an interesting take, but have you confirmed it with the author? I am the author. I did actually get to watch this one happen in real time. It was beautiful. Sometimes I go back and read the Tiger Woods cheating sect because it has some of the funniest shit ever. Let's see, if we hang out on Sunday, we can watch Desperate Housewives again. Oh God. Take a break from watching boring old golf. I mean, the amazing sport of golf. More than an hour later. Babe, I was kidding. I know, sexy. Those aren't sexts. That's just regular conversation. Why are they involved? Be a good girl for daddy as I pull down my size 30 by 32 jeans. What's your problem, man? Unemployed. Well, you're pretty clever unemployed. I hope you never found a job. What's an insult that actually sounds like a compliment? You're so articulate. Thank you. I worked very hard to not be stupid like you assume I am. Let's see here. When your custom character appears in a cutscene. It kills me that normally the joke is because the custom character is too colorful or flashy, and here it's the opposite. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. Jonesy sticks out like a sore thumb for the opposite reason as normal, which is odd. He's more complex than the others. Even Zooble there, for sure. He's more detailed, and I think that might be the issue here. Dear intern, when I was 25, I made a PDF assigning each employee to the Muppet they reminded me of the most. I meant to send it to my work friend, but I accidentally sent it to the entire company. My supervisor, Beaker, wanted to fire me, but the owners, Bert and Ernie, intervened. What's the most awkward date you've ever been on? He took me to his parents' favorite spot. We saw his mom there feeding strawberries to another man. He was about to confront her, but his dad came out of the bathroom and sat with them, and he grabbed the man's hand. That was the night he learned his parents like to tag team other men. Having anxiety is so stupid. Like, what do you mean I'm scared of hanging out with my friends? Yeah, isn't that just the worst thing ever? Like, there's something I'm supposed to be doing tonight that's so cool. It's the coolest opportunity I've had in a long time, right? Mortified. I'm given complete control over it, but I'm mortified. Going to see a movie scares me to death every time, and I hate it.